in the industry.
Can y'all hear this?
I think that's one of the reasons that Will destroyed his ass on Shannon Sharp. So she's like, where did this queen come from? And why the fuck did she leave? So I didn't even realize that he was a content I think when I watched this whole thing. And then he was hosting all of these comedy shows.
Uh-uh. So anyway, hey Malaya, what's good? I was trying to get something to play in the background for when I start blow drying my hair with the computer. Let me try this. Hold on. I'm trying to find something. We could listen to the read for a little bit, but will it? Let me see. Stop. Share. Maybe if I share the whole window. The window. Entire screen. Entire screen. Can you hear the audio from it now? Let me see.
Billy only had cell phone on his award show hosting to go off of. And I was like, let me just watch him stand up. And I watched
You can't hear it through here.
early stand up. So when the episodes that actually makes him famous. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, no, this. Yeah. So I get it. I just don't know that like award shows have ever been the platform
Can't hear it.
hilarious. And I think that's hard.
Audio.
No, it wasn't hard for Cynthia Erivo. I was gonna say she killed it. I mean, when I tell you she killed it, I
Are you able to hear that? All right, now what's echoing now? Okay, so that's not going to work. I think I have to share it a different way. Let me see. What you doing? What y'all doing up this late? I have a emergency hair situation. Um, I'm get ready to blow dry my hair, but I want us to be entertained while I do so. So let's see. Armand didn't come on today. Um, not. You know what? No. You know what? I do have. I want to tease the toes. I got some things to say, but not yet. You know what? Ew, this is the judge. Ew, that's really bad feedback. Yeah, I was try to share something on my computer. I'm going to share Sherelle's world. So let me find it. Let me go to my history for when I start blow drying my hair because they have. Well, they were. I've been checking in and out of different podcasters for the Diddy trial, and the tide has definitely turned, especially today with them getting rid of a black juror. Um, and Sherelle's world, they were completely Team Diddy today. But also, Kanye West came to the courthouse today, and Tisa Toes was like geeking the fuck out. And it was a statement that she made that kind of gave me like, She said something like, well, if I would have known Kanye was coming, I would have wore my, you know, see-through clothing. And I wanted to say, oh, so you mean you wanted to use what you got to get what you want? Kind of like, the other girls, like these so-called victims. You wanted to use your feminine wiles to, you know, But she limited to the comments. I guess I'm not the only one who felt that way. Let me see if the Brav Bros did Miami yet. Let's see. Love Island. 11 hours ago. Jax. Who's Amaya? I don't know. They didn't do that yet. They have. Do they have Atlanta? Drew, Drama, and Grenada. But that was 9 days ago. The Valley, Love Island page. So they probably stopped doing Atlanta. Damn. I don't even see Atlanta up here. The last Atlanta review they did was 9 days ago. All right, let's see. We'll watch Ray Ray all day. What's up, baby? Let's look at Watch What Crappens. Watch What Crappens. Let's see what did they review anything. Watch What Crappens. They did the rich. Oh, they did do Miami. Y'all want to listen to? Okay, so when I blow dry my hair, we're gonna listen to Watch What Crappens from Miami. Do I need to re-wet my hair? Ooh, it's dripping. All right, I need to wait. I need some. Do I? Not really. Watch this. I'm gonna put all of this moisture on the top of my hair. So I'm not re-wetting my hair. So I have a funeral to go to tomorrow. Wasn't sure if I was going, and I'm kind of tired of the natural hair look. I want straight hair, and I used my treatment stuff that I make. I'm calling it Hair RX for right now, with the bananas and the honey and the apple cider vinegar and all of the good ingredients. I don't like this lighting. I feel like it's not really showing my hair. You try a different color. What are you guys doing up? Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Do y'all want to hear about Real Housewives of Miami? I think I'm gonna do a middle part. Real House of. I want to give the side part a break because your hair will get stuck if you just always put your part in the same place. You'll start to lose hair in that place. It'll be hard to part it somewhere else. So I'm going to do middle part for my straight hair. To even? No. It looks off center. To even? Kind of. Good enough for right now. Oh, let me drop the link. I'm going to drop the link after I blow dry. Because you ain't going to be able to hear nothing. Does that look centered? About to record some shows. What shows? So the only thing I'm using is this Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum. 1, 2, 3. That's 3. We'll just do 3. Start at the bottom, work your way up. That's for one side. My hair is still really wet at the tips. Let's do the back. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Let's get the kitchen. And then I'm going to do 3 for this side. 1, 2, 3. Drag race All Stars, Real Housewives of Miami, and BMF on Stars, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh, you got a full plate. I don't watch BMF or what's the other one? The Chi-Town. Power is enough for me. I didn't start at the ends. You want to get those ends. I need to do a trim. Those natural hair products, they're horrible for your hair. A lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. You know what? I'm going to drop the link. If you want to come, please come up. Sound off. Copy. I'm actually going to play Cheryl's World because I want you to hear what people are saying now. Let me pin this. Salon talk. Uh-oh. Okay. Which show is the one Candy is on? Is she still on what was it, The Shy or BMF? Which one was Carisha on? Poor Carisha. Y'all think Carisha waiting for her man to come home? I wonder if Financial was about.
Hi, everybody. I usually don't go live twice in one day because, these trials are so long. I usually want to let my video sit and stuff like that. But I had to go today because of what happened today. It was absolutely unbelievable. It's unbelievable what happened. So when I first started watching this case, I believed from the bottom of my heart that Diddy needed to be in jail for life. For life. Hi, Lisa. So sweet. I really thought we need to put this maniac behind bars, right? And a lot of people were supportive. Yes, let's get Diddy behind bars. But as I'm watching the case, and I'm thinking, I can't wait till they get to the good part.
Maxo, you too nasty.
I say that day one. I can't wait till they get to the good part. Day 2, day 10, 11, 12. We're on day 23. It was no good part. From the bottom of my heart, I really thought, I believe the rumors. I believe the rumors that, Diddy laced the baby oil. Diddy is, I believed it all. I believe Rico down to the bottom of my toes.
Florida? Florida?
I'm looking around going, wait a minute.
I'm trying to keep it
uneducated bloggers lying about this, lying about that. All the stuff that made all the news everybody wanted to talk about was not in the trial. I'm like, wait a minute. When are we going to get to the minors part? When are we going to get to all the people that said that they were with Diddy? They slept with him. When are we getting to the good part? There is no good part. It's absolutely true that the Southern District of New York went to trial without any damn evidence.
Mm.
None.
Mm.
I was absolutely outraged today because I don't know if you remember, I said in the middle of the day, I said, they don't have a case.
Mm.
Maureen's probably going to go cry to daddy. Oh, we're losing.
And y'all remember Maureen Comey, her father, Trump calls him the disgraced former FBI head of FBI because if you remember in Trump's first term, he quit, but he triggered let me see, I want to get it right. What did he do? James Comey. Because I feel like they're resorting to tactics now, kind of like what Maureen Comey's father did when he left, when Trump put his ass out. James Comey. What did he do? What did James Comey do to Donald Trump? Okay, so what James Comey did is, I remember when Trump got in office, it says James Comey, as FBI director, had several interactions with, hold on, sorry, I got too much stuff up here. Okay, so he had several interactions with Donald Trump that led to significant conflict and controversy. Comey's dismissal by Trump in May 2017 became a focal point of investigations and potential obstruction of justice. Comey also leaked memos about his private conversations with Trump, including ones where Trump allegedly asked him to drop the investigation into Michael Flynn. Here's a detailed breakdown. So basically, he leaked a bunch of shit before he left, which triggered some investigation, triggered a lot of stuff. So as you can see, he wrote a book about it. So it's no surprise to me that his daughter is resulting to tactics like getting black jurors who are favoring Diddy, getting them out of the way. Because of the case that she presenting is like, what the fuck is this? This is what y'all really did? What y'all wasting our tax money doing? Let's see. Where is Sherelle getting this bogus info? Well, they dismissed the juror today. RICO has been proven according to what have been presented by the prosecution, not according to some attorneys. Comey dropped a dime on criminal, asking him to be a criminal. But he also leaked information, is the point. You're not supposed to do that. You're the FBI, head director of the FBI. No surprise to me that his daughter is resorting to tactics. And in case you didn't know, a juror was dismissed today for some bullshit. Because now, so from according to Tisa Tells, it was because he stays in Jersey with his fiance or something like that. And he wasn't dismissed because of that. He was dismissed because the judge said that he didn't like the way he answered the question, basically. So we can actually go to Tisa before we go to but she talks so much. She can't get to the point. Let's see. Tisa Tells. She was kicked out too. All right. Let's see. Which one did I listen to? 10 hours ago? No, 10 hours ago was what? 11 a.m. So I guess it's this one. Let's see.
Everything that I truly want.
It's all due to something called law of sustainment.
That's
In
from
psychology, the law of sustainment, if you want to write this
But the
down,
reason is
is
bullshit.
LOS.
Because it seems
about
like
what happened.
they're-
I just left the courtroom. The judge extended the court for an extra hour. Now, a couple of things happened. You guys know what happened about juror number 6. The judge said that no, he was untruthful. There were omissions. You cannot have that in a court of law. However, as I'm sure you've heard, okay, and I got a lot of notes. Xavier Donaldson, I believe, stood up and made an impassioned plea about the way the 7th District of New York, it's the Bronx, all the juries are usually all white. We cannot just exclude and let jurors go without giving him a chance to explain. He thought he should have been brought in, juror number 6, and explain, because if juror number 6 goes, right, you have to look at the jurors. I thought they just pick one randomly, but a person moves over one, right? And if you move over one, that means he will be replaced by an older white gentleman. Xavier Donaldson said we need to look at the optics, okay? But you guys, I said, so here's the thing. The judge kicked everybody out the chambers. It was so dramatic. I waited. They started talking about the evidentiary chart, the summaries, all this like legal paperwork. And I stayed there for an extra hour. Why? Because I got some tea. Y'all, remember when we told you guys that Brendan Paul had flipped on Diddy and everybody was like, Tisa, what are you talking about? Tisa, what are you talking about? Do you not know that he did?
So the juror, when he gave his initial questionnaire, he told them his addresses, and it wasn't a problem then. Allegedly, somebody heard him talking about his commute from Jersey, which it doesn't matter where they stay. Do they have to stay on the island of New York? Why is that a fucking problem all of a sudden? It's obvious that juror number 6 let out a juror. No, it's not obvious, because he said he has a fiance out there. Where does he pay taxes? That's easy to find out. If he's paying taxes in New York, if he has a place in New York, I mean, why can't he have a girlfriend in New Jersey? So, what is she talking about? Hold on.
Just got it was his first defense, so he got a rehab disposition program. And I said, I don't care what y'all say. I know what a flip looks like when I see one. Well, guess what? So does the federal government. Brendan called Paul. I was in. Oh, I don't think it's fair that he has the right to. Welcome to my dirty room. I don't think he's fair. He doesn't have the right to say it, because we don't know the nature of Brendan's employment. Well, according to Little Rod, or more to settle, saying, oh, sometimes it's something big. I think it actually might even be bigger than whether juror number 6 is struck, right? Because the summary chart ties everything together. I just thought it was linking hotel records to this and that, but it goes further. They're taking people's text messages that they got from the raid, D-Rocks, KK's, everybody's messages that they got in the raid from Diddy's phones and from the subpoena phones. And they're matching that up to not only timeline, but testimony. So when everybody was like, oh, Mia's a liar, but Mia said that she got a message from D-Rock and she threw the phone and she was so scared. And then Diddy reached out and then this and that. Not only do you have the messages tied to, this is where Mia testified to this. Here's the message from D-Rock. Here's what Mia testified. Here's the other message to D-Rock. Here's when she said that Diddy called her. Here's the other message tying it to this moment in the testimony. But it goes more, because the summary chart actually shows, and guess what? Here's what was happening in the background. Why D-Rock was reaching out to Mia, and Mia was like, I knew this was Diddy trying to reach out to me. Guess what? They have the messages from D-Rock to Diddy being like, yo, I reached out. Yo, she ain't hit me back. Yo, what you want me to say? They had Diddy on the side texting her in between. So it'd be like, D-Rock texts Mia. D-Rock connects with Mia. And then it shows what's happening in the background. Diddy contacts D-Rock. Diddy tells D-Rock that says this to Mia.
All right, this is for the admins out there. With Navon, you get the ease of allowing employees to book on their own, so they no longer have to chase someone.
Brian Still and said, looked at Brian Still and said, what are you talking about?
All right, let me look for Attorney Simone. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. What's her name? Attorney. I wonder if Harvey spoke on it. I might get a strike for that, because I think he's on Tubi. Let me see if they covered it today. TMZ. Sean Combs inside the Diddy trial. Let's see. Weak. No.
I heard that they wasn't gonna allow him in the courtroom, but I guess they allowed him in the courtroom today.
Who? Diddy or the juror?
The juror.
I think they dismissed him. They dismissed him today. TMZ. Is it TMZ Live that you do it?
Yeah, TMZ Live might be on him.
Diddy trial. 3 hours ago. Diddy highlights from the 23rd day of testimony. Let's see. Kanye West make a quick appearance. Day 23 wrap up. Let's see if they let me play this. If I get a strike, I just get a strike.
Bad news.
Don't overthink it. If it feels right,
All right, I will blow dry my hair. Hold on, let me see if this is the right one.
Get me.
My hand is itching. They usually mean good. You know, y'all ever hear that?
That means good. That means you're gonna get a lot of money.
I hope so, child. I'm gonna play the lottery.
Better get both.
I hope you give a lot of money. I hope you get it. If you get a lot of money, hope you win a lot of money.
Yes, I do too.
Well, I've slipped and fell twice.
All right,
he didn't say what he slept and fell in, but if you have that much lube and that much baby oil, you can kind of figure it out.
Yeah, today's the day 23.
Hey everybody, Charles here. Day 23 in Diddy's federal trial, and
thank you.
We learned a little bit about post-freak-off slip and falls. It happened to someone. We will explain what they were slipping and falling in just a little bit later. Stick around for that. But Diddy was not the person everyone was talking about today, at least for a while. It was a different celebrity. His buddy, Ye. Kanye West showed up at the federal courthouse in New York today, and what an appearance it was. Made a big entrance. He did not come in at the beginning of the day, and in fact, it was a little unclear whether he'd even be able to get into court because testimony had already begun. But he rolled up, got out of his car, walked in, all head to toe in white denim, and then was met at the door by Diddy's son, King Combs. But when he went inside, I think things did not go the way that Ye expected them to go. Obviously, he's going there because he wants to show support for Diddy, and really, he would be the first of his celeb friends to show any support, any public support at least, for Diddy, and the only celeb who would have shown up at court to support him. But he did not get to go into the courtroom. He walked into the courthouse and then was told that he couldn't go into the courtroom and he'd have to go into the overflow room. Now, the overflow room is where they have a lot of other reporters, media gathered watching, essentially just watching the trial on a big TV. And we're told from our reporter, Jacob was in that overflow room. That's where he watches every day. And there was a big commotion in there. They actually, the deputies came in, they cleared off a bench at the back of that room, and it seemed like that's where they were expecting Kanye to watch. But then there were a lot of people coming in and out, and even some of Diddy's attorneys stuck their head in, kind of looking for Ye. Didn't see him in there. Well, it turns out what the deputies decided was that it was just going to be too much of a commotion, too much of a distraction if you were sitting in that room with all the other media. I mean, let's be honest. If you're a reporter and you're in that room, you're no longer looking at the trial. You're watching Ye to see how he's reacting to things that are being said in the trial. So they decided to not bring him in there. He got his own private overflow room. And he was only there, so he sat down in there with King Combs, but he was only there for about 10 minutes. If you know anything about Ye, once he realized that there wasn't going to be this big show of him walking into court and everyone gasping and, you know, him trying to wave to Diddy or whatever it is, that once that was not happening, he decided he was out of there. He literally was in the overflow room for about 10 minutes and then walked out and was gone. Didn't have anything to say when he left, and that was it. So, with that whole circus out of the way, what actually happened in the trial today? Only 2 witnesses on the stand, and one of them, the first was a special agent, Andre Lamont, and he ran through a lot of things that we already knew about the raids. He was going over basically an inventory of things that they found at the LA home during the raid. Talked about weapons, talked about drugs, ketamine, ecstasy, and the weapons, aside from the guns, he also talked about the ammo that was found and that it was armor-piercing bullets that they found there, which we had known that from the indictment. Always seemed weird to me that Diddy would need that kind of ammunition, but he didn't really get into what it could be used for, just talked about this is what they found. Then there was something that I guess you could say is a bit of maybe freak-off shaming, you could call it. We've all heard about the baby oil. We've heard about the personal lubricant that was found and the amounts that were found. But
Okay.
we went through the numbers, and I guess you feel like maybe the prosecutors felt like they've probably heard about this.
About Kanye. I want y'all to hear Sherelle today.
In the case, we are horribly embarrassed. What can we do now?
Can you
Start breaking up the jury one by one, knocking off the black people.
What'd you say, Dustin?
Okay, can you make the picture bigger so I can see? I have a little bit of trouble seeing the screen, so can you make it a little bit bigger?
Sherelle?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
That's good enough. Thank you.
All right. Let's see.
I apologize about that. I have a little bit of trouble seeing the screen.
I believe
Not too Siri.
from the bottom of my heart that Diddy needed to be in jail for life. For life. Hi, Lisa. So sweet. I really thought we need to put this maniac behind bars, right? And you know, a lot of people were supportive. Yes, let's get Diddy behind bars. But as I'm watching the case,
what am I doing?
and you know, I'm thinking, I can't wait till they get to the good part. I say that day 1. I can't wait till they get to the good part. Day 2, day 10, 11,
I love
12. We're on day 23. It was no good part.
What life is crazy.
From the bottom of my heart, I really thought, I believe the rumors. I believe the rumors that, you know, Diddy laced the baby oil. Diddy is, I believed it all. I believe Rico down to the bottom of my toes.
I do too, Terrell.
But as I'm looking around going, wait a minute. Some uneducated bloggers lying about this, lying about that. All the stuff that made all the news everybody wanted to talk about was not in the trial. I'm like, wait a minute. When are we going to get to the minors part? When are we going to get to all the people that said that they were with Diddy? They slept with him. When are we getting to the good part? There is no good part. It's absolutely true that the Southern District of New York went to trial without any damn evidence. None. I was absolutely outraged today because I don't know if you remember. I said in the middle of the day, I said, they don't have a case. Maureen's probably going to go cry to daddy. Oh, we're losing the case. We are horribly embarrassed. What can we do now? Start breaking up the jury.
Yep.
One by one. Knocking off the black people.
They've been not having the case.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you why in a minute.
Case. Today was a disgrace that you call yourself a prosecutor. There was no case. Oh, wait till the end. It's circumstantial evidence. You have no case. You thought that you can get Diddy's inner circle, bunch of drug addicts, a bunch of liars to turn on each other. And that was all you needed, because you knew that the public said Diddy should be put away. And you had an ultimate goal. You're changing the goalpost for Rico. I was so upset. I left early. I said, I'm never doing this again. You know, is this other Black people turning on each other? They're acting like they don't know what's going on. Until I was watching Donat, till I was watching Dennis. I'm watching the people of New York saying, no. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. The plan to pick off Black people one by one, not going to work. I think I'm going to try to get down there, because what I'm not going to do is assist a new law, because they're doing it right in front of our eyes, that's going to support putting Black men in jail whenever they feel like it. Whenever they feel. So this is no longer going to be a mobster law. It's going to be a Black people law, Black men. That's who they're after. I was listening to them Black men. They get it. I hear your pain. I'm gonna have to do something. I'm either gonna put together, I gotta go to New York. We gotta, no. Because Diddy today, me tomorrow. It's not going down like that. They have a plan, and they're gonna pick off Black people one by one. With this spineless judge that wants to fit in with the whites. And not all white people are racist. I'm talking about a special type. The Republicans. This right now is the Republican Southern District. Now, all Republicans aren't racist or whatnot, but the ones in the Southern District are illiterate and they don't know how to run a case. I cannot believe I'm reliving my mother's life. She had to go through this during the 60s. I thought that I could go through a lifetime and the quality of life for Black people will get better. I believe that. It's not getting better. We're experiencing everything they did in the 60s. Who knows? I might wake up tomorrow and Jim Crow is back on the table. I can't live with myself. I have to stand up. The ones that don't want to, do what you do best. Go put your head under a pillow or go assist the white man and get Diddy convicted. But I'm going to do something about it. Picking us off one by one. That's your strategy? You talk about baby oil, baby oil, baby oil. Listen. I'm going to read this really quick. It says, I'm with you, Sherelle. Same thing is happening in the Karen Reed trial. It went to a jury today, and there's no way, to my mind, that the prosecution proved their case. Same with Diddy. Karen Reed is innocent. What's going on here? What's going on? Taking away our men, one by one. So that's why I was really proud of New York. They were like, no. Our Black men go through something not even the Black women go through. Where is justice? When you could have hundreds of people in broad daylight tear up the Capitol building, nothing happens. You got other people saying, bring back our loved ones because you illegally deported them. Then the tanks come out, they throw gas in the air. You got to wear the gas mask. Come on, y'all. Y'all don't see it? Sherelle, I disagree with you so much on this. I think you're getting off feelings and emotion and not content of law. You ain't got no damn common sense. You don't see what's going on? Go back over there. Go support them. Locking up our black men. We don't need you here. Go support them.
This is Buick now.
Do y'all see this body and shine I'm giving?
Yeah, I see it. You look.
Just from the blow dry. I didn't even get to this is from my hair stuff that I make.
And I
I
have
got
to.
a little bit of damage I need to cut off here, but y'all see what it's giving already. Like this part, I'm gonna trim this all up because that's where
It
my
looks.
layers are.
It
But
looks
look
great.
at this.
I like it. I
Thank
like
you, Dustin. But look, like this is just from the blow dry alone. Y'all see why I want them damn curls up my head? I'm gonna have to cut this all up. Edward Scissorhand. All this. This is what the
But I
other
said,
products do on
but
here.
I have to agree with Sherelle though, because Sherelle's making some good points today. So I
Yes,
agree.
she is. Yes, she is. You gotta give it to them right. It's giving Household of Miami some thank you, Mister. You see this flowetry? Like, what is going on? Like, but this side, I messed around, I let it dry. This blow dryer, your hair has to be like soaking wet. Well, not soaking wet, but wet when it dries. So
What kind of blow dryer do you have? What brand, if you don't mind me asking?
this is called the Revlon, something. It's a blow dry brush from Revlon. All right, so let me hit this back real quick. We're gonna put Sherelle back here because this side is not even as straight.
Yeah.
This side is straight. This side is still got my it's not. I couldn't get it good because it was already halfway dry. So let me get the back before it dries. I'm gonna put Sherelle back on.
Okay.
Black juror on there. He put down the wrong zip code and then he lied to get on this case. He shook his head. And how come nobody else seen him shaking his head but Maureen Comey? Go over there. Go support your people. It is heartbreaking to watch. Go lock him up for the rest of his life. What if you were falsely accused of some shit because you're the scapegoat? And we said, lock her up, no fair trial, lock her up, throw away the key, no fair trial. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. This isn't Jim Crow. What is it? What is it? Please, Glenda, what is it? Why? So a jury, the most important
everybody
thing
is innocent until proven guilty.
You have to have the right jurors. You're supposed to have a group of your peers. They're going to take them off one by one. I sat today in this chair for 6 hours and heard no evidence. Diddy bought 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Seriously, I'm not making this up. If you weren't here today, okay. Was it laced? Was it okay? We knew this from the beginning when everybody made fun of him. That's your evidence. He had a GUN with the serial number scratched off. They don't tell you it was in a damn safe in the security building with his security. They act like he was walking around with it. Get to the evidence. Where is the evidence? I hate it. when Black people still live by Jim Crow laws. They don't have to do anything because we're going to fight each other. Gina, I just asked you a question. What is the evidence? Why didn't you start a petition to free Diddy if you're feeling that strongly about it? Why don't you put your money in his books? Go visit him. Didn't you just hear what I just said? You didn't catch it all. You didn't catch the beginning. Yeah, we're not going to sit back and just let this happen. We cannot let this happen. If Diddy goes to jail for a life sentence, let it be the right way. I'm not going to do your dirty work for you. Let it be the right way. First of all, a life sentence, we've seen Kyle Rittenhouse walking down the street with an assault in his hand, unalive somebody in broad daylight. He did not go to jail. He did not go to jail. They protect theirs. They protect theirs. You don't have to protect yours. Don't. You don't have to. Nobody has to be here. I'm telling you, nobody be here, don't want to be here. But for me, that don't sit well with me. So I wanted to thank you guys. Go watch the Notch channel. There are Black men that are not going to let this happen. Speaking up for themselves, talking about their problem with the RICO law, how they were falsely accused. I don't get it. How do you sit back and let something like this happen and you say nothing? You say, lock them up, throw away the key, RICO all over the place. When there are attorneys saying, well, I don't know if your RICO charge gonna work. What happened today was absolutely disgusting. What did they talk about today? For 6 damn hours, baby oil, Astroglide, GUNs with the sawed off serial number that belonged to security. Okay, well, all right. I thought Diddy unalived somebody with the GUNs the way that they were acting. I thought they were all over the house, scrambled all over in a lockbox in the security office. And then the agent refused to tell him how you got in the lockbox. This is disgusting. Well, when I got there, it was open. They said, how did it get open? When I got there, it was open. Don't blame me. It was that way when I got there. Somebody opened the damn safe. Who did it? Who opened the safe? You ransacked this man's house, called him a drug trafficker. It's obvious everybody in that damn house was an addict. He's an addict. No, please get out of here. If you don't see what I see, if you got a problem, no one's keeping you here. I cannot sit back and do nothing.
Being diagnosed with a brain tumor is an overwhelming time. At the Jefferson Brain Tumor Center, we can really help to guide you through that process. We want those patients to know that they are not alone.
First of all, we are in 2025, Jim Crow. Diddy is an evil man that did not charge him correctly. He has gotten away with crimes for 30 years. They know what he has done. No, you tell me what he has done. You tell me what he has done. They? Who? Who is they? The way this case is handled will probably get off. He wanted him to face his crimes, but they are playing in our faces. Distraction and division between us. Wake up. You know, I was telling you guys, 2 uncles with life sentences, falsely accused. How do you know they're falsely accused? Because we know who did it. We know who did it. It's just a shame. I hate to see Black people turn on each other and sitting there believing all these lies, all the Jaguar right stuff, all the Gene Deal shit. Y'all believe in it. If they were telling the truth, how come they're not on the stand? If they were telling the truth, how come you didn't do nothing about it? Just a question, not even being rude. Oh, you were there? What happened? You told me that part. Okay, what'd you do? What'd you do about it? What'd you do about it? Make money off of it? What? I'm very, very suspicious about people that make thousands of dollars for an interview. I can interview that same person for free and he'll tell the story. Whoever it is, they'll tell the story. I pay you $10,000. Now the story got all kind of turns and mountains that you didn't bring up before. And then when you come back week after week, y'all believed her. Tell the truth. Y'all believed her. Where's she at now? Why is she stricken from the courthouse? Y'all don't ask yourself none of these questions. They haven't learned from the Central Park 5. It's a setup. What's wrong with us? Yeah, you're right. We ain't learned. They ain't learned. Thank you. I agree with your perspective in this case. I'm sure that there were some Black people that wanted the Central Park 5 locked up. Because that's how we do each other. We believe the white man before we believe another Black person. I sat in court today.
Come Perry.
Tell me the evidence that said this is a RICO charge.
It's gonna get interesting.
I feel like this is the Central Park 5 all over again. Diddy can be as nasty and disgusting as he wants in his bedroom. That's his business.
Yeah.
But the law is you can't convict anybody without evidence. They just admitted they ain't got no damn evidence. They called it circumstantial evidence, which means they wanted to leave it to you to solve the problem, the jury. Yeah. And we got to get them Blacks off that damn jury. Don't act like racism does not exist. Stop it.
You know, hold on. And I say this too, because people saying, oh, RICO is not the only charge. Look, we just know that's how we've been talking about is a RICO. They trying to get him for this. Do we think Diddy is innocent? No. For the people who want to change the narrative.
Perry, you don't have to keep explaining that.
I just say this for the charges. But you can't tell me on one end, you can see how much of a monster Diddy is of things that haven't been proven that we believe he could have did. You don't see what's going on in court right now? When they removed a Black man off the damn jury, when they case was sucking, couldn't even get air, right? We're going to remove him because he ain't buying our bullshit. You ain't sold us nothing. And if you can say how much of a monster Diddy is, what about the witnesses? Do they have an excuse for hoeing? Money grubbing? Right? Look, the thing is this. We're here for justice. Did he go down? We want it to go down the right way. I didn't want the judge to have a mistrial. Let it go to the jury. I didn't want no interference when you start removing jurors neither to fit your benefit. This is some bullshit, right? And these Black people right now, get over what you think he could have did and what these victims should have did. And let's get right down to it. Look. These people had the right. They speaking up now, right? They could have spoke up then. And I ain't got time for no Stockholm Syndrome bullshit, right? The bottom line is this. They coming out for a money grab. Do I think Diddy innocent? No, I mean, not of all charges, but the charges that's been in front of him. I don't think he's guilty for that. And I think you yourself don't even believe RICO has been spelled out. The prosecution don't believe it. That's why we get to remove anybody who possibly can disagree with them. Let's start with the black male. And if you're black, it happens all the fucking time. White woman, throw kids off bridge because whatever, she's cheating or just tired of babysitting. Oh, what happened? Oh.
Karen alert.
I can't.
Motherfuckers, come back. Black male. Who did it? Black male, 6 feet.
I can't.
Let's not play these games with me today. Real lives are on the line.
Yeah.
We can debate the RICO all fucking day long. And we can say the juror lied. Do you really know he lied? Now, I'm not even going to drag your comment over here. Doesn't that matter what color you are? Well, didn't they vet these people? Don't they have a questionnaire that they go by?
Yeah.
Let's think about this. They check your ID when you go to the courthouse. They send you a jury summons to go to court for jury duty. A lot of people know it, right? He goes. How did he get it? Obviously, whether he stayed there or not, that's his fucking business. Do you get to tell people who the fuck you sleeping with every night to be on a jury? Do you? You don't. You say, I'm staying here, whatever. He got an ID. They can find out whether he paying New York state tax or not. It's other ways. But I think people, either you want to go back in the past from all the shit that's going to happen on YouTube for the last year, the things that was alleged Diddy did, ain't neither one of these MFers on the stand testifying about it. Let's keep that real. You ain't seen neither one of them. I'm not going to name them. But you ain't seen neither one of them on the stand. And every person you seen was a personal relationship, a girlfriend that thought she was going to move up the totem pole to be his wife one day. And I thought this would please him. I thought it would please him. That's your thought. Ain't nobody forced you to do shit. Ain't nobody been kidnapped. And if they was, they're a damn fool to show up to work next week. Let's use some common sense in this and stop messing around. Because what you want to do is try to fit in because the masses say, oh, Diddy's guilty. We should get him. And you think if you're black, trying to just roll with this for that part, RICO's been spelled out. You a ninja today. And with these people that you want to roll with, you could be a ninja tomorrow. It ain't going to change how they look at you. Look what they're doing with the deportations and everything. It's a color thing. But Diddy being on trial, off the top, I don't call it racist, right off the top. But now how they making these moves, why ain't they come out here and give us everybody's fucking address then on the jury? Give us everybody's address. Because what if the white man don't stay where he's supposed to be staying? He got his summons just like the brother did. It's a problem, people. But you want to be hoodwinked and just always just assume that, oh, no, this is right because Judge so-and-so said it. F the judge. And the prosecutor too. But go ahead, Sherelle.
Hi, Taz, sound off.
Hi, guys. Love you guys. So I just want to say I agree with Perry 100%. I have been feeling this way since the beginning. The way they did all those raids, and it was obvious they didn't really have anything to go on from the beginning. So now they throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. But one of the things that really that I have questions about too, and I haven't heard too many people ask this question. Actually, no one. When Kid Cudi was talking about his car being bombed and all that stuff, when he talked about the security cameras to his house, I do remember him saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that the cameras were turned a different way. He figured out later on, right? So when you have security cameras, I don't care if they were turned the other way. If someone's walking up to those cameras before they turn it, they have to be seen. So what happened to that footage? Where is the footage of whoever turned his cameras the wrong way? You know, so it's just a lot of things that you can clearly tell. It's way deeper than Diddy, like Perry and Sherrod's been saying now. It's way deeper than Diddy. It's about all of us.
All of us.
That's what it's all about. It's about them making sure that when they pin crimes on us, when they want to put us away, they can do it, and they can throw anything at the wall and make sure it sticks.
Yep.
Whether it's true or not. That is a problem. That is a problem because they can't use ICE to get us out. So,
oh my gosh, yeah, you're right.
I wanted to drive change on a finance team, not monitor it. Comcast gave me that opportunity.
They can't use ICE to get us out because we have more of a right to be here than they do. So what they're going to do is, this is what they've always done, systematically.
Yep.
Fuck us. Excuse my language, but
I had to chat today. I said, can you tell me who is the Michael Jackson of this generation, of this year, even 2025? They have systematically.
Yep. Dismantled that.
Yeah, all of it.
Mhm.
I mean, who's in their 20s like Diddy was with this big empire they're developing?
Nobody. And the ones that is up there, like, because I listen to you every morning with this whole trial, I'll be at work, you get me through my day. But the whole thing is, I don't care who the artist is nowadays, they find a way to muddy up their name.
Okay.
And their legacy. Beyonce, they've thrown so much on her. Jay-Z, big, I mean, just all of them. Even let's go back to even like maybe Biggie and Tupac. It's like no matter who we are, no matter what type of legacy we leave or we are living in, they will find a way to muddy our names. They'll find a way to discredit our accomplishments and what we stand for, you know?
They said Jay-Z Ard, a disabled 13-year-old.
Yep.
They ran with it too, didn't they?
They did.
Yes, they did.
Ran with it. And even blacks. Oh, yeah. Busby's right. Busby's
yeah. But thank you guys for letting me come up. I really appreciate you guys. And this is sad. And like, we have to wake up, people. We have to wake up. It's bigger than Diddy. We know Diddy is guilty. We know he's done some horrible things. But the main harshest things they have him out there for have yet to be proven.
Kyle Rittenhouse can walk down the street.
Right.
Unalive somebody with hundreds of people standing there. They protect theirs.
AR-15.
Yeah, we're the only ones. We could be totally innocent and people know it, and we still will go against each other just so that we can side with what the majority is, you know. And that's horrible. That's bad for us. But thanks, guys. Have a great day. I'll be in the in your comments.
I appreciate it.
Hi, Reese. Sound off.
Reese.
Hey guys, I hope it's raining outside. I'm in my car, so hopefully the background is not too bad. The same thing the other lady said, I had said in you guys' chat. This is bigger than Diddy. I'm a mom of two black young men. Every day that I wake up, I drill into them and I make sure, and I listen to you guys all week because I'm working, and I really like you, Perry. You keep me laughing. Terrell, I don't know how you deal with him, baby. But I'm also a DV victim. And I really couldn't listen to the trial. That's why I had to listen to you guys, because you put a little humor with it. It's not too serious. No one's saying that Diddy is obsolete from taking his punishment. The problem is that the waters have become so murky with our judicial system all the way up to the Supreme Court. And this started long before Diddy. This is, and nobody's paying attention to You have people being unalive that go against the grain, black folks. You know, people are just not paying attention to the local sector. So I just had a conversation with my son today, and he's also special needs. And that's a double whammy because he's not only when they see him, they don't see a special needs young man. They see he's pretty burly. He's a big guy.
Right.
You know, and I've had a cop in our subdivision stop my son when he's just walking, minding his business. And the cop lives in the subdivision, and he stopped my son, asked him where was he going. And luckily one of my neighbors saw the interaction and, you know, my ear.
Why are you not investing in tax liens? No, seriously. Why are you not investing into one of the most incredible real estate strategies?
And Cheryl, you said it. You say they're trying to remove him. They're going to remove him. And sure enough, they removed this. And can that juror come out? Can he talk?
He was trying to say that, explain the situation. He didn't want to hear it. So, also,
no, but I'm saying, can he talk to content creators or a news? Can he talk or he's still gagged?
No, listen. He has a gag order on him.
Wow.
A gag order. So he can't talk about it. Don't tell me I'm not witnessing racism. Why
exactly?
Can't he talk?
Exactly, because he's no longer under any, you know, he's not a juror. So why can't he talk? You have jurors that been on unalive trials that if they're no longer on the trial, they can talk. That, you know, like somebody that's a serial unaliver, and if the person's no longer on the trial, they can talk. I feel, and this is me, this is not you guys, I feel allegedly conspiracies, corruption. I just feel all these things. I don't know why I feel it in my spirit, but they would have been had Diddy if Diddy didn't have money.
Okay.
And Diddy money.
That bothers me too. Why do they want to take his money under the forfeiture law? Shouldn't that money go to his family?
They
should.
Sherelle, they want y'all look. They want you to stay in your place. They don't want to see no rich billionaire black guy. Let's keep it real, because if you have that, then you have a person with influence. Now, granted, we know Diddy ain't did it the right way, but what we saying is about this is bigger than Diddy. People can try to just change the narrative to fit whatever they want. We talking about this is some bullshit. Day 23, you just noticed something?
Yeah.
And then you're going to have these bloggers come out here tonight, or already on right now, trying to fit in with the narrative, with the bullshit. Oh, this is this. They got him. He did this. No, we talking about the justice system. These people don't want to talk about the justice system because they're sellouts. Let's keep it real. They're sellouts and only looking out for their pocket. They think they're better than blacks. That's the message. They feel they're better than blacks and they can just throw this shit out there. We ain't got time to sugarcoat shit. When you have an opinion, people gonna either agree with you or go against you. It's some people that's just gonna ride the wave. I'm gonna go, well, if 80% agree here, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm tired of fake ass ninja.
Private investigator that comes on. Let me see if it's her right here.
It's for a fact. You have generations on top of generations that live in the projects. Nothing wrong with the projects. My thing is that
And what do junkies do? Junkies lie. They have.
There's been times where I was in a relationship 5 years straight.
Good out of the situation is he's in jail and you don't get access to those.
Cheated on her husband with Diddy. Did y'all miss?
You get to go on trips. Yeah.
That were taught.
All right. The rest is the panel. Let's see. Do y'all want to see Tisa? Is anybody still with me?
I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm still here. I was just on mute, so that I was listening to it. So I put myself on mute, but I'm still here.
Okay, let's see. I want Simone. I thought I saw Simone break it down. Let me see. Live. Let's see. Did she do any lives today? Juror dismissed. Juror late. Okay. So she can explain a little bit better in legal talk. Share this tab.
Which comes out to
would have been different. So I'm coming to you live. I'm going to break down to you what just happened with juror number 6. Now, juror number 6 was a black man. He was a black man from the Bronx. Now, there are 12 actual jurors. There are 4 alternates. And interestingly, only 4 jurors are from Manhattan or the Bronx. The other 12 are from, they said, Westchester area. So the defense was fighting really, really hard to keep this guy in the jury. Now, I'm pretty sure I know which one it was. He is definitely a black man. He's an African-American man. That was without question. He was not in the room during these arguments. The entire jury had been dismissed. But who was in the courtroom was just like opposing counsel and, of course, us, right? So literally, I just ran out here. I was like, oh, guys, I have to tell you. So here's how it all came about. So one of the mornings the other day, this juror comes in, like all the jurors does, and he's talking about, I think he was talking about his weekend or whatever it was, or his commute. And it was clear that he was commuting daily from New Jersey. Well, you can't be a Jersey resident to be on a trial in the Southern District, New York. You had to live within the Southern District of New York, which is exclusively, it's New York, it's Manhattan, the Bronx, Richland County, Westchester County, and like some other smaller county, but no New Jersey involved. So apparently, one of the court staff heard the guy say that he was commuting from Jersey.
So first she said that it was clear that he had been commuting from New Jersey. Now later on Tisa's Live, we'll hear that he has a girlfriend or a fiance or whoever in New Jersey, but his residence is in the Bronx. But
yeah.
So the staff already knew that he was coming from Jersey. But I guess today, once Jane Doe rests her case, I don't know if they're reading, if they're seeing, TMZ has so far to me I'll pull it up on Joe Tacopina. I'll pull up his page after this. He's a lawyer. He was A$AP Rocky's lawyer and a well-respected lawyer. And he was a former prosecutor. So this is who we need to be listening to. I wonder if he was on anybody's podcast today. Probably TMZ. I have to find out where these TMZ panels are. I think they're on Tubi. But I will look for that in between what I'm doing. All right, so let's listen to her a little bit. What do you have? What say you so far?
I think he was on. I think he was on. I think that this was a setup to get rid of him. I think that they had this planned to get rid of him. I don't think it was right. I think he should have been able to be at the trial all the way through. I think they had a plan to get rid of this guy, and I don't think it was fair.
Because if you go back to Tisa Tells, she's been talking about this juror for weeks. I'm gonna go find those recordings of her. She's been talking about this man because he's obviously Team Diddy. She has been talking about this juror for a long time. I'm gonna find those.
Right.
And we're gonna be here. I can't be here all night. I got a funeral in the morning, but I will be back tomorrow night. I'm gonna find that Tisa Tell footage. I'm gonna find precisely where it is of her coming at this jury because I feel like The prosecution is watching the press like everybody else. They're reading the comments. They see they're losing the people, which means I feel like the people represents the jury and how they may be feeling. And so now they want to get rid of juror members because they have lost the people. Everyone is not put them in jail, put them in jail. And a lot that's not the sentiment anymore. All right, so let's listen to her a little bit.
Went and told the prosecutor. The prosecutor said, "Oh," and I think they already didn't like him because he seemed pro Diddy. Now, if he's who I think he was, I'm not going to describe him, but I'll just say he was an older black guy, not an older black guy. He was a black guy who's probably 30s, 40s, and I guess I'm describing him 30s, 40s, and I remember he was dressed casual. I'll just put it like that. I won't describe what he's had on, but I would say he dressed casual. He looked like he was definitely raised on Diddy. He looked like he was raised on Biggie. He looked like there was no questions asked that he would have grown up with that kind of music. I want to make sure that you guys hear from me first, the legal basis, and then I want to hear your thoughts, the legal basis for his dismissal. So when I first heard about that, I was like, oh, so the issue is that, he's claiming now that he moved to New Jersey, he's living in New Jersey, but jury selection, which at this point, guys, was a month ago. This case started Cinco de Mayo, so it's been more than a month. Or jury selection started Cinco de Mayo. So a month ago, so I thought, okay, well, if he was a resident at the time of jury selection, what should that matter? So here's the tea. Here's why you guys follow me, your legal bestie. In the end, the judge says that's not the issue. The issue isn't where did he live then versus where did he live now. The true issue for the judge is his lack of candor, is what they called it. That's what the prosecution called it.
That is some bullshit. Okay, so the problem isn't that he even commutes to Jersey or they think that he lives in Jersey. That's not the issue.
In other words, the prosecution alluded that either he wasn't a resident when he initially said he was, or that he's not now. The judge said, I don't care about either of those. The judge said the judge's true concern was his inability to answer simple questions. I'm gonna tell you why. So I took copious notes for you guys.
Long 5 minutes.
So it said, all right, so the legal standard is really broad. A judge can dismiss a juror for basically any reason that he wants. He doesn't even have to confer with both sides if he doesn't want to. He can do it for any reason as long as it's not an unlawful reason. An unlawful reason would be based on your race, based on someone being gay, sexual orientation, something like that. And more than that, a judge's decision to dismiss a juror really can't even be attacked on appeal unless a party can prove that it was based on race or sexuality or something like that, where they're not allowed to do it. So as a result, it gives the trial court judge a lot of power. Well, here, so after it was brought to the attention of the prosecutors that this guy may have been lying about where he's living, hit that like as you come in, then they called what they call a colloquy in the judge's chambers, which is basically there was a meeting in chambers and it was both sides. And I think the juror was in there too, but I'm not exactly sure. But both sides came in there and they posed questions that they wanted clarified with the juror. Here's the problem. The jurors answered. So there was they asked the juror questions before lunch. Then they got back together. They had a colloquy. They asked him some clarifying questions and his answers were inconsistent. And in fact, he said 3 different things. So first he said, oh, his fiance and his daughter had just moved to Jersey. And so sometimes he would stay with them. He would go back and forth. The juror recently moved to New Jersey. He moved in with his girlfriend and baby daughter. That's what they said. And he's been there, quote, for a couple of weeks. That's what was initially said. Then after they asked him that question, he went to lunch or what have you. The prosecutors and stuff got back together and it was almost like, oh, he realized he might be in trouble. So then when they asked him after lunch some additional clarifying questions, He said, "Oh no, I'm still staying in my apartment in the Bronx. I'm there 4 to 5 nights a week. I still have my other job. So Monday through Friday, I'm there about 4 to 5 nights a week in the Bronx is where I'm staying." But then there's a third inconsistency. During voir dire, when asked where he lived in the form, they asked where he lived and who he lived with, he said he lived in the Bronx with his grandma. I'm sorry, with his auntie. In addition, when he was asked about his daughter, he said, "Oh, no, let me say." Yeah, so first he said he was in Jersey most of the time. Sorry, in Jersey most of the time. Then after the break, which is about 4 to 5 hours later, he said, "Oh, he's in New York most of the time during the week." Then he stated that his daughter, remember, he at one point said he lived in the Bronx with his daughter, but then he said his daughter was born in New Jersey and that she's been living in New Jersey her whole life. So at one point when he stated that his daughter, okay, but then he stated at one point during voir dire that his daughter lived with him in the Bronx. So the judge was like, "Look, I don't know what's going on, but there's several inconsistencies here. And the issue isn't where he lives, but the sentiment of the judge. It said, where there is a suggestion that a juror cannot follow simple instructions or answer simple questions like, 'Where do you live, sir?' with honesty, then the juror has to go." So I want to be very clear with you. It is not an issue of where the guy lives now. It was an issue of the simple question of, "Sir, where do you live and with who?" That the answer changed about 3 times. And that if you cannot.
First of all, what I'm hearing is he lives in the Bronx with his aunt or whoever. His baby mom lives in Jersey, and he goes to Jersey a lot to go stay with his aunt, his baby mom, and his daughter. But his primary residence is in New York. But he probably got scared and said, "Oh, you all stay in New York." But it just sounds like his baby lives in Jersey and he goes to see his baby in Jersey. But the primary residence is in New York. So what is so... I just think it's underhanded.
I think they're. I think it's. I don't think it should be a problem where he lives, as long as he's in going back and forth to the courtroom every day. So there should be no problem where he lives.
Right, and you don't like the way he answered you. Why do you keep asking him the same fucking question over and over? It sounds like a trick question. Like he told you where
Sounds
he
like a
lives.
broken record.
Right, I don't like it at all.
Just to
Not
keep asking him the same
answer a
questions
simple
over and over
question
Right.
like
again.
that, how can we trust
And we
that you
know
will be
it
able
was
to follow
probably
instructions? These
more
jury
than that they
instructions,
were
I've
asking
shared
him.
them on my channel. If you look at my video from yesterday, I actually put up what the defense wants as a proposed jury instructions. Somebody said he's homeless. Someone else said he's deceiving. But if you can't follow those simple instructions, then these jury instructions, which are no fun to read at all, y'all, they are dry, boring, and terrible. Then how are you going to do that? Furthermore, they said you got to be able to apply the law to the facts. And the judge stated specifically his concern was that this gentleman really, really wanted to be on that jury. And as a result, someone who really, really wants to be on the jury, the expectation is that you aren't going to follow the rules because you're going to force the outcome that you personally want. Hit that like. It says he has not officially been dismissed. The judge is, yes, I know that. Can I do my shout? Thank you. So the judge stated on the record that he was dismissing this juror for the reasons that I just allowed. And then at the very end, Agnifilo came in and so it was Xavier Donaldson who was making the initial argument. And then at the very end, Agnifilo comes in and says, "Your Honor, I know this is a Hail Mary, but I found a state court case. I found a state court case. And with this state court case, blah, 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 you should give it another try. And specifically, what they are asking for is that at least before you dismiss the guy, bring him back into chambers. Let's allow him to ask some clarifying questions so we can get to the bottom of which of the 3 answers was correct, or perhaps maybe he misunderstood the question, or any of the above. But I want to tell you, as I sat there in the courtroom, the judge said, blah, 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 blah. And for these reasons, I'm going to dismiss. Then the defense kept talking And then at the last minute, Agnifilo goes, I have this Hail Mary. And the judge goes, all right, I'll consider it and I'll be back on Monday. Yes, there was another case, but at the end of the day, it's very difficult. If a judge's concern is you can't follow instructions and you really, really want to be on this jury, it's going to be very difficult to change his mind.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is
But,
now at BK. Get it
that-
before it disappears.
Something seems kind of something seems kind of fishy with that, don't you? think?
Right. Like, first of all, yeah, something is fishy. They've probably been complaining. I'm telling you, Tisa has been complaining about this juror for at least a week. They don't like the faces he's making.
So do you think? So do you think that? I'm asking you I'm asking you a question. Do you think there's going to be a mistrial?
This should be. Because the juror that's going to replace him is white. They said the person is white. The one is next up in line. So now we're down to 3 black people. And I say that because there's nuance in some of the answers that, like when Puff left a message for Jane Doe, and he said, "Get on your job because you got me on mine." If you are not of the culture, you might not know what that means. It's slang for like, get on your, like get on your shit because you got me on my shit, not a literal job. Like when he said get on your job, somebody who's not of the culture might think he really means like a job. He's saying like get on top of your shit, like because you got me on mine. Like basically like I'm doing everything I need to be doing for you, and you kind of like are leaving me hanging. That's just like slang. So we need black jurors up there. Hold on. All right. I'm gonna listen to a few more seconds of her. What happened?
Case they just gave him, which is a state court case, but we'll see because the issue is again, they're going to have to overcome. They, as in the defense, has to overcome the now presumption that old boy really wants to be on this jury. Now, I also think
So
an
what if he
additional
does?
reason the defense is concerned is one, the defense
That
wants him.
shouldn't
He's
be
a
a
black
problem
male
with
juror,
that.
and
Because
he has
they're
been
gonna make
giving
money when they get
indications
off the
throughout the
jury.
process that he is very pro Diddy. Understandable that they would want him on the jury. This is not the smiley guy. No, the smiley guy was actually a Caucasian guy. This is a African American guy. And it says the juror, and I get the guy's, it could be a plan. It says, I think the judge just wanted, I think that, yeah, the judge wants to show that he's listening to both sides in the event of an appeal. So he's going to, so he's going to consider it over the weekend. I wouldn't be surprised though, if the judge makes a ruling by Sunday so that this guy, if he's going to come, shows up on Sunday. And if he doesn't have to come, gets notice prior to him having to take the train all the way from the Bronx down to this downtown courthouse. They're buying the judge too. I don't know. We'll have to see. Like I said, the case that they were throwing in was a state court case, and it was a true Hail Mary. But the other thing that
I know he's saying. What I'm saying.
I want to be clear about, there's 4 black men in this jury pool. However, and so this gentleman is one of the 4. However, we don't know of the remaining 3, how many of those 3 are actually on the jury versus an alternate. Part of the reason why the judge said he was very inclined and felt comfortable dismissing this guy is they haven't touched any of the alternates. They've got 4. The alternates have been there each day listening to the same thing. Hit that like. It says there is 1 black man alternate. So then the question is going to be, okay, are they going to switch the black man for the black man? I don't think they could do that. Generally it has to be lottery style. And interestingly, one of the arguments that the prosecution made in saying, no, judge, you need to stick with your ruling where you initially said he was dismissed, is Xavier made his argument that Xavier was saying, which is the African-American man on the defense. He's like, Your Honor, I'm very concerned about this because this is a black juror that's getting dismissed. And, historically, it's been very rare that there have been black jurors.
Popeyes brings you Bowl Louisiana Crunch, wrapped up and ready to roll. Our hand-breaded chicken tenders wrapped in a faro tortilla with lettuce, cheese, and pickles prove that big flavors come in small packages. Love that chicken.
on
I get
federal
me one of
juries.
those.
And the reason for that, y'all, is because we show up to jury duty and we disqualify ourselves, either for work reasons, personal reasons, whatever. That's what was discussed in court. But the prosecutor said, Your Honor, at this point, based on Donaldson's arguments, he is asking you to not dismiss this juror based on race. He's asking you to make your determination today based on race. And we are adamantly against that, Your Honor. This is a very, her argument was, this is a very diverse jury, blah, blah, blah. What do you guys think of that argument? That the argument that Mr. Donaldson was arguing to keep this guy on as a result of his race, as opposed to applying the law. I think what the judge is going to do is the judge is like, look, I need to show at all times that I let everybody make a record, say as much as you wanted to say, and then I have given serious thought to what I'm going to do before I do it. Somebody said that black man shouldn't have lied. Here's the thing: the answers the juror
Didn't
actually
lie.
gave. So we were talking about juror 6, the black man who the judge stated just moments ago that he would be dismissing from the jury, and then at the last minute, Agnicola was like, Your Honor, wait. I have a Hail Mary. There's this one case. I have a different argument than Mr. Donaldson's making. There's this one case. It's a state court case. I want you to look at it. And the judge said, okay, I'll take a look at it. Like, get the hell out of here. We need to all go home. I'll take a look at it over the weekend and I will make a determination then. It says it's not smart to play the race card in federal court for a ruling of the court. I agree. Remember, the judge is an Indian man, like from India. He's not from India. Well, I don't think that he is, but that is his family's heritage. He should be further investigated. They're fighting to keep him. Well, the judge's concern was this man's answers are showing that he is really fighting to be on this jury.
So
And
what?
that is always suspect to prosecutors when someone fights to be on a jury, because the question becomes, why do you fight so hard? What is it? Are you going to follow the law, or do you have a particular outcome in mind and are going to find in that way, no matter what?
Maybe he knows he's going to make bank when the trial is over. I need me a snack. Oh my God.
I think he has a right to be on the. I think he has a right to be on the jury still, and I think he should be allowed to be on the jury still. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
And just because the judge didn't like the way he answered the question, I would think it would be more of a technical reason. Oh, well, I think you live in Jersey then. I think you're a resident of Jersey. Then you got to go. I would be like, okay. I could go more with that, but not based off of you don't like the way I answered the question. That sounds ridiculous.
That's right. I think it's
So
I think it's unfair too. I also think it's unfair for him to be kicked off of the jury.
I wonder what the defense is going to come back with. Because also, like, even if they do ask for a mistrial, the judge keeps saying no. Like, who? So he's He's the one determining if they have a mistrial or not. Which, okay, that's kind of like no. If they're having a problem with the judge, how can they get a mistrial?
Couldn't they request a new judge?
Maybe so. This is very interesting. Oh, I forgot I had crabs down here. What's going on, my
Can they
friend?
request a new judge? Though, if they wanted to.
I get. I'm sure they can, but like on what grounds? Pretty sure that's the next question. But I don't think that was a good reason to get rid of that man. And also, the way the question was even raised, somebody was listening to their conversation and said, "Oh, he's commuting from Jersey." That's weird. If they said they knew he was commuting from Jersey the whole time, like, so why today did it become an issue this week?
Yeah, this is the fourth weekend they're just not having an issue with.
Right. Give me a little bit of chicken, a little snack real quick. Snacky snack. I don't know. I want to eat my damn crabs. I need to finish my hair. I'm tired of this already. And I think they said they still need until Friday. And the fact that they said that they don't know what their witness list is going to be, it's going to be compared to, I guess, the testimony of other people, tells me like they're kind of winging it. Like, you should have your witness list and your case already prepared. It shouldn't be dependent on who testifies and what they say, and what's the outcome, or so basically reading the comments or the sentiment of the people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just weird, the prosecution's case. Like
The whole
Sherelle said,
thing's weird.
they don't
The
have
whole
any
thing,
evidence.
the whole thing is weird to me.
Like, where is the evidence of this stuff? Like, where's the paperwork? Where are the bank accounts? Where are the all this stuff is like circumstantial. What people said. Like, where's your guys' hard proof about stuff?
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, I don't think we're gonna see it though. Well, I wish we do.
Wait, what'd you say?
I don't think we're gonna see it though, but I hope we do.
Yeah, they got a week left.
I wanna see the hard proof, but I don't think we're gonna see it though.
I don't think so either, because what are they waiting for? And the fact that they had Jane Doe on the stand for so long, and she made the case worse for them, if you ask me. Because
Yeah, I agree.
it made her just look like a prostitute, a crazy prostitute.
Yeah.
She didn't help their case at all. Not to me. She didn't corroborate anything. It made it seem like the opposite. She was very manipulative. She wanted to be his only girl. She still loves him. He's still paying for her stuff. Isn't that a conflict of interest right there?
You
Or
think
am I
so?
tripping? What'd you say?
I said you would think so.
Right, like a real case, a real prosecutor. You know, we watch Law and Order and all kinds of stuff. They wouldn't put her on the stand because he's still paying for her. They would be scared that she would turn on them, but they obviously have threatened
I
her.
watched a lot of trials, and
Yeah.
this is the most craziest trial I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Does it seem like they're winging this whole thing to you?
Yes, they're winging it the whole thing to me. They're winging it.
That's what it seems like to me.
Because I don't know if you watch a lot of trials or not, but I watch a lot of court TV, and they're winging it to me.
I just watch like Law and Order and like a lot of the criminal minds and organized crime and a lot of that stuff. And I know when they get a witness that's not a strong witness, or someone who might be compromised, or conflict of interest, the fact that she
but I feel like this trial was going to be doomed from day one, and I think, and I, and I think, and I think as it goes more further along, I start to see it more and more.
What made you feel like it was going to be doomed?
Because these people don't have the concrete proof of the people.
They what?
They don't have the concrete. They don't have the concrete proof that they need to prove that he's guilty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that part too. Like, where is y'all evidence? These are just people saying stuff. Like, where's the proof? To me, they still haven't proved that Diddy blew up that car.
I like to
I
say the
feel like
word.
if
I like to say the word. I like to say the word. The proof is in the pudding. So where's the proof?
I feel like if Diddy was in charge of it, it would have got blown up for real. That wasn't even blown up. That was a little fire because it was a designer handkerchief that was used. He was back with Cassie at the time. And Kid Cudi had 3 girls in his orbit: a girlfriend, he was at his girlfriend's sister's house 6 o'clock in the morning, and he had the girl at the house dog sitting, apparently. And like Sherelle said, what about the camera situation? You said the camera was turned. Well, can we see the footage up to the point it was turned?
I would love to see it though. Hmm?
Let me see. Is Sherelle still up here?
No.
There's a lawyer that comes on here. Let me see.
Talked into doing this. I think that we're seeing arrangements that then later wanted to be girlfriends or became girlfriends because he doesn't have boundaries with people. You saw how he was being friends and getting high with his assistants. So imagine what he would do with the working girl he was paying.
Do you remember this testimony, Callie? She begging him to take her on a trip. All I get to do is the freak off. When can I go on the trip?
Let me tell
But
you.
that's what I think that's what he hired her for.
Exactly.
They only hung out
Yeah.
twice. Freak off,
Hello,
sorry.
Kelly.
I honestly think that this was even Cassie said it was my job, and we thought she was being facetious. I think she meant that literally.
Right. She probably did. But Callie, let me say this. Like, it's all women on the panel. I'm just saying, I'm speaking from a man's perspective, right? Now, a guy like a trick when they feel like tricking. But ain't no guy gonna marry no hoe like that.
No. But I think that Diddy's drug use, his drunken nights or high nights, he's hallucinating in these mindsets, and they believing him. He might say, "Oh, I love you. You're the best thing I ever experienced."
They're all high.
And they're like, "Oh, he really does like me." And I'm like, he's high out of his damn mind.
They are too.
You don't know what he
Yeah.
wakes up the next
Yeah.
morning. He don't even remember what he said.
I agree.
Exactly.
And y'all are like seriously believing this man wants to be with you, and he's thinking, "Wow, what a wild night." I don't know if you guys saw the movie Honora, but it kind of reminds me of that. Like, remember the girl, the prostitutes fall in love with him because he says, "Let's get married," but at the end, like, he wakes up and says, "Okay, the dream is over," and then the girl's like, "Wait a minute, I'm fighting for this relationship, and the whole time you were never with it." No, he was just high, honey. He was high as hell.
Yeah, I think that's what this is. I think that he is extremely nice to these women and extremely generous with these women, and they start to think that, oh, I'm going to be his girlfriend.
Get a load of this.
The new jackpot ticket from the PA lottery.
With top prizes of $1 million.
Right.
And I think that that's what's happening. And I think he did like Cassie a little bit, but he didn't like Cassie enough to get rid of Kim.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why he didn't like Cassie enough, because one of the security guards, and I can't remember which one, but he stated that Cassie, I think it was Roger Bonds, because he was like, he used to try to help Cassie, but when Cassie gets high and stuff, she would go back and tell Diddy everything that he said. And he said that she was asking him, tell him to marry me. She wanted Diddy to marry her. Cassie did. And I'm gonna tell you why I looked at Cassie and Jane Doe the same. When they both knew, when a woman knows, any woman dealing with a man knows what card she needs to pull to get him to do what she want him to do. And when Jane Doe said it and Cassie both said it, they both said, you want to have a good time, a night, freak off, whatever. That's when they were, remember she surprised him with a freak off because she didn't want him to be with Young Miami. They knew what card to pull to get him to drop everything. They knew.
Yeah, they knew that that's what they were. I don't think these were actual relationships. I think that these were women that he was paying to do this. I don't think that these were girlfriends that he manipulated into doing this. And I believe that that is why everyone's lying and this story isn't quite making sense.
It's not making sense. You're right, Callie. You broke the code. They were paid to do this, and a couple of them slipped and said it in their testimony. I believe it was Jane who said this was my job. That's what she said. This was my job.
No, Cassie said it too. She said it too, and people thought she was being facetious. But after I heard Jane's whole setup, a light bulb went off, and I said, "What if he was just paying them to do this?" And that's what we're seeing here. But no one wants to come out and say that because they feel like it might be worse on him. It might look more like trafficking. Like it can go either way.
Let me ask you a question, Callie.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. So these people, these black people who think that Diddy should be locked up, they don't realize that these are the wrong charges.
I think that they don't know what RICO is because there are so many people on social media, even some of them claiming to be attorneys, basically making it seem as though you could just string a couple of crimes together and say that this is a criminal enterprise. And that's not what RICO was created for. Laws have intent. RICO was created for illegal businesses. Trafficking laws were created for people that were being forced and held against their will. This is not trafficking. Now, maybe that Angels, whatever website, maybe they're doing something weird, making those men do that. We don't know. But the trial is not about whoever's running that website. But he is not a pimp. He's not pimping anybody. He's a John. And these laws were not made to put the John in jail.
Yeah.
Can I jump in again?
A
really
high,
quick?
drunken, junkie John.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty much I came back up here to say the same thing. I don't think these women, I think, because anybody in their right mind wouldn't think he would marry any of them, you know, because of all the activity. So I think when, you know, they kind of fell in love with him, and he was honest though. They knew he had other women. So I think maybe the rugs is what made them get delusional about it. You know, maybe they thought, one of them probably thought they was more special than the other one because of a gift he may have bought, or because the vacations, he may have taken one on a vacation here and didn't take the other one. So her head got big and she thought she would be the wife, you know, or he would make her his main girl type thing. But
I think he treated these women extremely well. We call it love bombing, but I wouldn't even say it was love bombing because I think that they knew that they were hired to do this. Like
I agree. I think they were also hired. I think that they were hired, and I think they knew they were hired. But the other thing too is, like, even with the whole Cassie case, and because she couldn't have been my daughter. I have a daughter, and she couldn't have been my daughter. I would have made his life a living hell. Even I would have showed up at his door every day with the police. I would have been throwing rocks at his windows. I would have been trying to, I'm telling you, he would have let my daughter go. He would have let her go. There's no ifs and ands about it. But sometimes when you have these young girls, and we all know some that's like that are out of control, the parents can't control them, they hide behind, they running around with all these different boys, and the mothers just don't know what to do. I think that was her case. I think that she was just loosey goosey, and she was just all over the place, and her mother didn't know what to do with her, so she didn't have no control over her. But and it just ended up the way it ended up, right? But the thing with her is, if you think about the movie, what was the movie with Halle Berry and Samuel L. Jackson when they played the crackhead?
Jungle Fever.
Yes, that's that. And the way they used to fight, that's what rug addicts do when they're in a relationship.
Can you repeat what you just said? That's what they do.
That's what rug addicts do, especially when they're in a relationship and they both are on rugs. It's unfortunate that he did that to her. But I'm sure it's some moments we didn't see where she probably threw something at him or slapped him upside his head too.
Yeah, they did. But I wanted to add too.
Hold on one second, you guys. Let me let is it Liaison in here?
Hey, Sherelle. Hey, Perry. Can you guys hear me?
What's up?
It's your old friend Leah from Alabama.
Oh, Leah, girl,
how's it going? I know I have a different picture. I'm still hanging out. So I just have a general question, kind of be devil's advocate, and not to change the subject per se. But my question is, can we agree that juror number 6, either, I won't say he lied, but he was less than candid, mistaken, or for any other word you want to call it, about his residence during voir dire?
Okay, but I'm gonna ask you this, right?
Yeah.
You know how when you go to court, every time I've been on jury duty, they ask for ID. It's a questionnaire. They question you. Why is it day 23 where they just realize this and not after that case going down the drain?
Right.
I will answer that question, Perry. But,
go ahead.
But my question is pending on the table. And my question is, because I know you're down to 7-Eleven getting the people's opinions.
Yeah, right.
But no, excuse me. But no, the question is really, can we agree that juror number 6 put different answers for where he lived, different states, different jurisdictions? Can we agree to that?
I can't agree. I can't agree to that because we're only taking the judge word. No. I can't agree. We haven't heard him speak. We haven't heard a transcript besides the judge talking to the attorneys saying he talked to the person. This happened.
Can we agree? Well, we haven't heard him speak, but can we agree from the court record today, what we heard, that during the voir dire, during jury selection, that he did put different addresses, whether he said them verbally or wrote them down or conveyed them any other way.
They didn't know that before they let him on the jury, though.
Thank you. I'm gonna say, Leah, you have really, you're damn near an attorney. You have real,
Pretty much.
I'm a lawyer, but I'm not an attorney, right?
Right, but you understand the law. Let me put it that way.
I'm a private investigator with a law degree. Yes.
All right. You know that should have been done before. You don't wait till the 23rd day, do you?
I think. Well, okay. Let me tell you what I do agree with. I do agree that that both sides have the addresses or the vital statistics of potential jurors or the venere. I do agree with that. And what I also agree with, though, is that when any potential juror, before they're sworn in to be a juror, they do attest and affirm that what they said is true. And so legally, you can have, you can of course have a beach house and an apartment in New York, but that's not what he said. He said he lived in New Jersey, then he lived in New York, and he lived in the Bronx, which is in New York. And so the reason is, what I want to say is, I think it's convenient that the juror is Black. It's very convenient. However, that doesn't negate what he did, his actions during voir dire.
No, Leah. I know you understand the law. You watched the case today.
Yeah.
Prosecutor is putting down the worst case I've ever seen. There's no smoking gun. There's no concrete evidence, right? Today we talked about baby oil. Why do we keep talking about baby oil?
Hundreds of boxes. Oh, by the way, and I want to tell both of you. Remember Mr. Lentime, my criminal law teacher who was on the show with me?
Right.
He agrees with Perry. There is no RICO.
You know what?
Yeah.
Leah, do you think he'll come on again?
I can ask him. Sure, I think he will.
But listen, I know you understand the law.
Yeah.
She knows it. She's keeping something from us. She knows it like the back of her hand. Today was very, very bad. They kept repeating evidence that we already heard of.
Right.
Listen, it's not out of character or unreasonable that a prosecutor sees this case is going down. I gotta take out one of the Black jurors because they most likely will side with Diddy. That's not unheard of.
No, it's not. You're right. You're right about that.
I have a question for Leah.
It's not a hobby. It's your empire.
Yeah. Leah, how do you think they found out
about the juror's address?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, if anyone's been served a jury summons, they mail it to your residence where you register.
Your house, right?
Yeah, to register.
But 23 days later?
Exactly.
I've heard the reports, and nothing to add, but I heard the reports were that he was talking with someone when he came back from the weekend and expressed that he was over in New Jersey on the weekend. So it was also hearsay that made them to go back and look at the stuff even more. I didn't know that he had put down 2 different addresses. That's something I was just updated about. But what I heard was that the judge didn't just got rid of him for that. They said the candor, the whole idea of him being misleading. They didn't want to lead that into the what's it called. And I just thought at this point, it's looking like everyone's they're pulling straws at this point because they know the case is just not going the way they thought it was going to go.
And Leah, come on, you know the law like the back of your hand. That is a strategic move to kick a black male off the jury. Because you had that chance before all of this got started. You kept him on. It was agreed upon. You got a chance to talk to them, ask them questions, and then there was a time where they got to pick who they wanted on the jury.
Oh, you're right. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I know y'all are here 7 hours doing the Lord's work here from Vegas, getting up early in the morning. But correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't I hear that that he said something in the robing room or jury room that was another part of this address caper? Is that right?
Supposedly, listen, it's a lot going down. They're saying he was nodding his head. Nobody else seen it. All of a sudden, all this one juror is doing so much wrong that he's got to get kicked off the jury. 90% of the trial is damn near gone.
Yeah.
So, I'm not falling for that. They have nothing else.
But why won't they let him talk? Why they have a gag order on him?
Why is there a gag order?
Because he's sworn as a juror. That's why.
Okay. But won't he speak to the judge and the lawyers? But I would say this, right? This is what I think happened. Could be wrong. I ain't got no proof. Not like some other lying ass bloggers. I don't have a source.
Oh my
God.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I have to make it clear because I don't want people to be with the wrong misunderstanding. I've been on jury duty. I talked to other jurors. And look, let's keep it real. In this big ass case, I've talked to people, we had disagreed, and you can tell they was either for this side or that side. They realized he wasn't on their side. And when they sitting there talking, I just came back from New Jersey or whatnot. Hey, he's not even from the area.
Yeah.
Right? That's where it could have came from.
Let's get him out of here.
Well, let me put it like this, though. Okay, what you're saying is absolutely right. So they did strategically use this little piece of, this low-hanging fruit of this man's, misdirection of his address. And then, but we have to look at, he gave them the reason. Had he put where he lived in the Bronx or Brooklyn and put that in that one address, we wouldn't.
Okay, but what if he was in between?
Well, then that's not how the law works. You have a resident.
No. They know where the hell he was.
Between addresses, right?
No, hold on for a second. They know where the hell they was. That's where they sent the summons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he told them 2-3 different addresses.
No, hold on for a second. So you got a guy at this address, but he receives the summons. And I used to work at the post office, and I think you don't forward that. If the person don't live there, you send it back, right? So obviously somebody he knew lived at that address.
But did he live at the address?
No. Hold up.
I'm holding.
Somebody he know. Now, you ain't got to rent the apartment. You ain't got to own the house to stay there. Am I right?
That's correct.
Okay. When you say, do you live there? Yes.
But there's a nuance to that, though.
Okay.
But that's not the reason why they said it was the fact that he was misleading.
Let's go with the nuance. Did they check his ID?
No, I don't know if they did or not.
Well, no. I mean, but I'm telling you, I've been on jury duty a lot of times. They check your ID.
Okay.
Something is fishy about that whole thing.
But not only that, guys, you can be a resident in 2 different locations or 2 different states.
Okay, right. Think about this. Now, say Kanye. He got all over. Jay-Z all over. But they sent the shit to this one thing. And I don't think the post office forward a jury summons. Okay? This is a mute.
I use my turn it up, baby.
I feel the connection to my work.
I use my hair conditioner.
Somebody, whether he stayed there for 2 hours a week, that's where he was at. Where is
That's
he?
his residence until he changes it.
No. Okay, he was there
go ahead.
2 hours, but that's not his residence. That's just where.
What did his ID say though?
Did
That's
he pay
the other
taxes
thing.
to New York, or did he pay taxes to? Because that's really what it breaks down to.
No,
If
you can pay taxes in 2 different states. I deal with
No, I'm saying,
insurance.
but when you're doing your taxes, you do have to claim a state at that point. You do.
What
No,
address is
not
on
if
his
you.
ID?
Well, I'm just saying because I'm an insurance agent and I deal with snowbirds who have 2 different homes and they pay taxes in different places.
Right.
And
I will say this though: when they sent that jury summons, they knew from a tax record or whatever that this person supposed to live there. His name ain't got to be on the lease. They sent it there. Why did they send it there knowing that he didn't have a residence?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you why he sent it. They sent it there because he provided some information through voter registration, DMV, that's
hello. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Right. So he's there, right?
Yeah.
And we know when you're dealing with court, it's hard to get jurors to even show up. Regardless whether he stayed 10 minutes across from the courthouse to New Jersey or 15 minutes, or like you want to make it out, he had to own or be the lease owner for that address, or he got to be the owner of that address.
No, but he kind of confessed, they said, to him living in New Jersey.
Let me ask you this, Leah. Whose favor does it fall in that they get rid of this African American juror?
Prosecutors.
No, hold on.
Well, let me say this.
No. Please answer the question. Whose favor does it fall in?
And okay, my non-legal opinion, it falls on the state side for sure. But in my legal thought, because he wasn't removed for racial reasons because of the lack of candor on the address, I can't say that right, but we all know. But I think it's convenient. But he gave them the impetus. He gave them the fuel to do this because, like Perry's saying, it's correct. You can live in the Bronx and maybe have a little,
But why did they even question him? That's my question. Why? What made them pick him out to even question him?
He was running his mouth. That's why.
Okay, well, and this is where I can't speak on anything I don't know. But what I heard was that they during their jury sessions after the voir dire, after he was already put on a jury, that he gave a different answer to his address. And it's not just he said I live in the Bronx versus Brooklyn. It's that he said he lived in another state, which is New Jersey. Right. And so all I'm saying is, we all know racism exists. And it's mighty convenient this black man, okay, who's Diddy bopping on the jury is gone. However, he gave them the fuel, for the fire.
He could.
So I had a question for Leah. Just one question.
Okay.
When you're looking at the whole case, and I know you're doing it through a legal lens, but did you get to a point, like, what was your opinion about like the drug use and these people? And did it sound like a gang of druggies to you, or you just saw it as one person having all this power and taking advantage of drug users?
I think it's all the above. I think because when you're an addictive state and it's a party time, it's an environment, you're living a life. Of course, you don't think about the after effect. But if Diddy wasn't there, would they have still been on drugs? Probably. So I don't know.
Leah, let me ask you this. You have to know that modern day racism is really woven into the laws, right? We're not crazy.
Okay.
The jails are full of African American men. The reason that this case is so important, because RICO was really designed for the mob, right?
Yeah, that was the first case. And like I said, Mr. Lynch, I'm just speaking on his behalf. He said there's no RICO. He's a defense attorney, and he laid it out. Now we'll have him on your show. And
that'd be good. That'd be great.
For sure, because he loves you guys like I do. But in this case, the racism didn't make this man say he lived in Jersey in the Bronx with his
No. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm getting at that the only people, high-powered rappers in these last 2 years that have been convicted of a RICO law have been African-American men.
Oh, absolutely. Not even convicted, but even just charged and dragged into court. Like, what's the boy named Lafani and them? What's his name?
Young Thug. Yeah.
And I'm worried that now this is going to be the new high-powered rich black man law. Let's just use RICO because it's a broad law and you can just throw everything at them and whatever sticks. This should have never been a federal charge. This should have been a DV charge down at the state level. Correct?
Isn't that the new jackpot ticket in that pile of laundry?
Hey. Yes, well, about the RICO, I don't know that much about RICO, so I'll agree because I don't see RICO myself because I don't see the criminal enterprise in its businesses.
Okay,
but
thank you.
It still should be federal, in my opinion, because there's interstate transactions between, and even international, but between Florida and LA. So the interstate part keeps it federal, and that's at the very least of it. But
do you think that Diddy's running this big SEX ring?
Not the way I picture one. I don't see like an Epstein kind of thing. I don't
You
see it
think
that
he's
way.
a higher player drug dealer?
I think he hired prostitutes. I think he flew them in for commercial purposes. I do believe that. I don't know if he forced anybody to take drugs, because if he pushed a pill down a woman's throat, I didn't hear that in evidence. So
this is my problem, Leah. He's the only one being charged for all these crimes, and everybody was in on it.
Well, he's the one with all the money. He's the one at the power.
Say it again. Say it
I heard
again.
a really good
power. He's the one with the money. He's the blackest. He's the richest. He's the most fun. He's what everybody
And
loves.
you know,
Idol.
all of those women were already on drugs or rugs. Sorry, Sherelle. All of those women were already on rugs before they even got with Diddy. Cassie and her friend was getting high before she got with Diddy. All the other women, everybody was already on rugs. So how are they blaming him when all he did was attract people that were just like him? They all were freaks and they all were drug addicts.
I want to ask you this, Leah, because I'm just going to be straight up with you. Do you think Diddy should be put away for life?
No.
It's ridiculous.
No, not
it's
for
ridiculous.
Life. Not for life. Absolutely not. Not for life.
I wanted to ask her too. Like, what do you feel about like the whole story of, like, for me, when I hear about like these prostitute and this trafficking thing, the jealousy stories just don't match up to like the way they spoke about how each one of them were so jealous of the other and they were competing. Does that make sense in a trafficking case?
Well, the jealousy isn't a legal element of trafficking, so it's not relevant in that
No,
case.
but you see, like they brought a more of like emotional relationships to these stories. That's what made me like look at it like I can see if it was trafficking, if the women were just completely like not wanting him and they're being dragged state to state. But when I hear stories about, oh, you brought her a Gucci bag and I got a Chanel, this is so unfair. It sounds like a divorce case.
Well, then there's a whole
Yeah,
marriage
I
aspect.
thought I was number one and she was number two. We
Yeah, and then they're like, make her take down her post. This is unfair.
Yeah.
She has a post of you with me, and I want to have a post with you. That to me makes it look like a relationship. It doesn't look like a trafficking situation.
And that's the thing about it that's so frustrating about the laws, because I agree, because I hear jealousy like, you know, like somebody said, had Diddy married her, would she still be out here talking? No, right? Or has she been a favorite? Has she been in Wyoming? No. However, the elements of the law are like, you know, did he hire a prostitute or sex worker, SW, I'm sorry, Sherelle, to come from another state, from one state to another to have sex with this woman, with Jane? That's the law part. Now, how she felt about it with the fireworks and Gina, you know, and all that, that's for civil court for her.
Okay, so let me ask you this though. So why wouldn't you feel that it should be a RICO on Cassie that ordered the
she's a victim in the situation, they say.
No. So you say no. He's not being charged with that. So she's not the victim.
My answer would be she's not charged for RICO because she doesn't have a business or enterprise.
No. Well, that case, well, I mean, it was all okay. No, I mean, you're saying that.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't it be a charge for her?
I'm telling you why, because she doesn't have a business or enterprise. That's
No, listen,
So that means she should be exempt from anything she done illegal. That means she's above the law because she don't have a business or enterprise. I mean, if she was guilty, she did illegal things, and they should convict her on her level of illegal, right?
What's your question? I didn't hear you. Can you say it again?
No, I was just saying, like, if she was guilty of doing something, if she was guilty and whatever it was, from if it was maybe if she went and picked up some rugs or whatever she was guilty of, shouldn't she be convicted, or shouldn't there be charges brought up on her for her level of the illegal things she did? I mean, she shouldn't, of course, they're not going to bring her up on a RICO, but they shouldn't be bringing him up on one either. But guilty is guilty. So they're above the law. Everybody's above the law because they're telling on him. Then everybody should be able to snitch on somebody that's.
Save up to 20% on your purchase. The summer savings event is going on now at Raymore and Flanagan.
behind bars than to be above the law is what I'm saying. I just don't get that whole thing. It's weird to me.
Okay, well, let's break that down. So the first question is, should Cassie, let's say, should she have been charged with RICO? My opinion, this is not legal advice, it's my education and information. But no, because Cassie didn't have a business or enterprise. She didn't have Ciroc and Sean. Do you know what I mean? So in that case, no, RICO doesn't apply to her. And to the next question about her maybe procuring or, maybe distributing or, that kind of thing with the rugs. If there's probable cause, which there was, I think, because she did get immunity. I can't say that for sure, but she got immunity for a reason, right? And so that negates, well, should she have been charged? I'll say this. You don't get immunity for no reason. I'll say that. Now, will she be convicted? I don't know. But I think Cassie, in this case, that immunity for a lot of these people is their saving grace. So
yeah,
exactly. And that's what I was going to say to you, Leah. And you basically said what I said when she got him. It wasn't just her, it was Jane Doe as well. They actually procured the Schmetz workers, some of them, even when he didn't know, they were surprising him.
Right.
So, yes, ma'am.
Get him on DoorDash. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let me ask you this, right? Now, basically, you saying you can solicit all day, just don't have a business.
No, that's not what I said, Perry.
But no. That's what you're saying, that because he's getting it because he have a business. You have to tie RICO to a business. So how come they didn't charge Jane?
Jane didn't have a business enterprise.
OnlyFans. That's a business.
But who's in her enterprise? She's doing OnlyFans.
No. Time out for a second.
I'm timed.
I'm sure she had a driver that took her to the airport. He's in her business, right?
Are you sure she has a driver?
Well, I'm telling you, more than likely,
Let's
her
assume she does. Let's assume
going 12 to 18 hours, she wasn't driving the next day. She had a driver.
Okay, let's assume she had a driver.
No. But we're going to focus on the business part of it.
Okay.
She had an OnlyFans. That's a
Perry,
business.
she's not an attorney.
Did she hire this?
No. I know she's not an attorney, but what I'm saying is, how come they appear for a RICO?
Did she hire the S worker to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, she did. She said,
hold on, Mr. Perry. But did she hire the S worker to S her on her OnlyFans page?
No, but
then it's not a RICO for her.
Okay.
But none of these people were hired for business.
Did Diddy hire the entertainers to F her on his album?
Oh my God.
Let me tell you, I think we are frustrated. I think we know Leah knows the law. She did not bring charges against Diddy herself, so we're taking it out on her.
No.
Hold on a second. I changed my number, but I really want to get in touch with you again. Do you have an IG?
Yes, it's I think it's Legally Leah JD.
Oh, hold on, let me write it down.
Y'all follow me. It's boring, but okay.
We'll follow you. We love you.
And trust me, I'm not coming at you.
I know, Perry.
Okay. All right.
It's just for fun discussion. It really is, just to look at all
What is it? Legally what?
Legally Leah JD is in Juris Doctor.
All right, Leah, and I'm still at Sherelle's World. If I don't contact you, please contact me, because we had a great time talking to him the last time he came on.
Yeah. Or either hit me at Perry Sanders 007 on whichever that you remember, because I can't remember how we communicated before.
Wait, what's Perry 007?
At Instagram, yeah. I mean, my wife don't check her shit sometimes because she get too many.
Oh, that's right. I don't.
Yeah. Popular.
But today was a really, really hard day because they're not really bringing in new evidence. They keep talking about baby oil, and what people do in their bedrooms, as weird as it is, that's their business. And I see people attacking Diddy, calling him gay. Tasha K, does he lick cum? All of this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's no laws against that. Otherwise, a lot of us be in jail. Ooh.
Right. So I'm having a hard time with, well, What is he here for? Why do we keep talking about bedroom? Why do we keep going over what he does in the bedroom? We get it. He likes voyeurisms. And we've talked about this. Every single day.
I think my biggest thing is that now that I hear all the pieces, I would rather for no one have got immunity. Everyone took their chances. Let the trial fall where it may.
No, Reed. If no one would have got immunity, you would have no witnesses. Nobody wanted to testify. They are all hostile witnesses, and they all gave a different story to the grand jury.
But what I'm saying is when they didn't want to testify, because they could have brought them up on charges of, like Diddy could have easily said they helped procure the people, so couldn't they have brought charges up against them? That would have been more.
Listen to me. They did not, because if they would have had brought charges on them, there would be no witnesses.
Yeah.
Well, it's a whole lot better than what it is now. Well,
They had to put this fake ass RICO together and say, okay, we're going to get him a RICO. Well, we need people to say that he had a RICO. Let's talk to all the addicts that hang around him, all the drug addicts, and get them to turn on each other.
They thought that the public was not going to be smart enough to actually follow this case and see what's going on.
No, only this group. You got other people. They love the salaciousness. They love the lies. Diddy slept with men. Ooh. Diddy licks cum. Ooh. They like that stuff. People love Jaguar Wright. Lie to me, lie to me, lie to me. She said she had to go in Diddy's party and kidnap a child, take a child to safety. She said that Jay-Z R'd her and got her pregnant. They love that stuff.
Well, I'm glad that Jay-Z and Beyonce shut her down on that Piers Morgan situation. And
the problem with that is that this is somebody's life.
Exactly.
And if you're going to talk about putting them behind bars for life,
exactly,
you better damn well have some evidence. This prosecutor is a joke. There's no evidence. Well, this is a case with no evidence. It's circumstantial. Those are very hard to prove.
I have a question, and this has been bothering me with Jane Doe. And maybe Leah can speak to this. My biggest problem is, how can somebody still be benefiting off of P. Diddy, have also an attorney, he paying for her rent, have an attorney, but my whole thing is, like, how can all of that happen when I don't know now, since everything's done, is he's gonna cut her off. I would if I was Diddy, because she didn't came and gave her testimony. But my whole thing is they had to be desperate for a witness, because she could have went either way.
And she did. If I recall correctly, she actually worked with both the prosecution and the defense, and eventually she speaking for the defense. I think.
Jane Doe is the most dangerous of them all. She was very worried about her identity getting out. Not what's her name? Not Daphne Joy, because that's an identity. That's an alias also. So she's got something she really wants to hide.
Well, I'm a PI, Sherelle. Hold on.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my God.
I'm a licensed PI.
Oh, wow.
I gotta go to your page because I'm starting my journey on wanting to do PI work. My son graduated, so I gotta follow you.
No, listen,
Yeah.
Leah, I'm not joking. We do background checks here.
Yeah.
2 aliases?
Or more.
Or more? Where were you born? What's your real name? Where you come
I think
from?
she's a working girl.
Definitely she's a prostitute, and Diddy got 50 Cent messed up and got the prostitute pregnant.
Yeah. Now I say this about Diddy paying her bills. I mean, that's his choice. I mean, if I ain't gonna knock the hustle. And is he still paying for rent? I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So favor ain't fair.
I mean, you listen, if you're going to do that, she's got the right situation. I believe she made you jealous, right, Perry? Because you said you would sleep with Diddy for 5.
Perry!
No.
5 million.
I said that I would sleep with Jane if she had cleared her STIs.
Oh my
STDs. Like, I mean,
That's my other question. Why are people? I think it's a lot more being hidden when it comes to there, because I don't know if HIPAA, but you got to have had a lot more than that going on. You have had to.
Her walls fell down like the walls of Jericho.
Yeah.
That's all that could happen.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
It's really
Well,
weird too.
HIPAA. Oh, I'm sorry.
HIPAA only applies to doctors, though. So
no, I was gonna say HIPAA was initially brought up in the very beginning.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh, toothless. Bold, tasty, and dangerously delicious.
Concerning Cassie, we got to use common sense. These people are engaging in very, very high risk behavior. We have one person in the situation who passed from pneumonia at a very young age.
Wait, who's
at
that?
a certain point-
Allegedly.
Who's that?
Well, no, her cause of death was pneumonia.
You're talking about Kim. You're talking about Kim. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have to kind of put the pieces together. We have people saying that they're having sores and this is sore, that's sore. We got to kind of use common sense. There's no way you're picking up workers out of the newspaper, which is what Craigslist essentially is, this random people for years. It's not like you just did this once and got lucky. You did this for years and nothing happened to you. Like, I just, that's not possible.
And not only that, I didn't hear no testing going on, because they would pick them up the same day. Like, where was the testing happening?
Well, even if they had been tested, we don't know if they just did a job that night or that morning before they came to your house.
Exactly.
So we don't really know what these men are doing in between. The two men that testified, I know they said they're actually or was it three men? I'm not sure. They said that they were actually exotic dancers. One said that he had never actually done that before. We don't know if that's true or not. We don't exactly know what was happening, especially with that situation with Jane, because that went way out of control.
Yeah. I don't believe the Punisher. I believe he was doing so very before.
Reed.
Yeah,
you
this
can
is
tour right now. Where did you get famous? He's going.
Yeah.
People are paying him money for these interviews. What is this?
He's all over the place.
He's all over the place. Yeah. Like,
Get
oh
the
my
picture.
God. It's insane. Now, here's the thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and then we're going to wrap this up. Leah, please reach out to me if I don't reach out to you, because, I forgot you were a PI. I forgot. And we got to figure out the truth to this, because I really feel that if we keep moving the goalposts for Rico, there's been no white people charged with the Rico in the last year and a half. None.
I'll tell you one thing to Google that'll kind of explain Rico. This is this theory in the law called the hub and spoke. So if you picture a wheel, you have the middle of it, like the hub, and the spokes that come off the wheel. And so that's the way this kind of conspiracy works. You have your central figure, and you have these offshoots that are making things happen like that. And so it's the hub and spoke theory in the law. And so that kind of explains how you can have just one person in a Rico. But I mean, if I've seen bigger Ricos, like we talk about the Gaudis, the Sopranos.
Yeah, that's a real Rico case.
Yeah.
This is something they're putting together to get rid of Diddy. And, I feel like we live in a different times. It's not the 90s, early 2000s. Because of our leader, the racial tensions are high.
Absolutely.
The sheriff just told the Hispanic people, if you protest, I will unalive you. Have you ever heard of such a thing coming from an important figure?
Never.
I feel like if you are African American and you commit crimes, you go to jail. I feel like if you are white and you commit crimes, you become the president. It's the truth.
Study show.
That sounds like that's my state. Is that Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
It's on the neighborhood talk. Go look at it. He did it this morning. He said, if you guys protest in Florida, we will unalive you.
Why we always, I love my state, but Lord have mercy. Okay.
Man in Florida.
So what I'm worried about is we're living in a time when racial tensions are high, and nothing's being fair anymore. Hugh Hefner had the same exact lifestyle as Diddy and was praised for it.
But remember, they tried to get him, but they backed off of him. I don't know if you remember, they came at Hugh, but they backed off of him. They
That's
did
why
not.
he left Chicago. He left the state of Illinois, came here to, I think, what is it, Beverly Hills, Homely Hills, wherever that raggedy mansion is. But that's how he ended up here in Los Angeles, because they were coming after him for a case. The thing about Hugh Hefner, to my knowledge, he had never had a girlfriend sue him with the word trafficking in a lawsuit. That one word is what caused this whole thing to happen.
You know, what caused Hugh Hefner's was he was making money off of the gambling casinos. What caused Diddy, can't nobody tell me different, was Ciroc and Diageo.
Disgusting.
And I want to show you guys this really quick because I'm not kidding. It says a Florida sheriff warns immigration protesters that they won't play with them. Says officer will arrest them or unalive them. Do y'all see that?
Well, Sherelle, they've been really assaulting the officers and the agents here very bad. They have been beating them with objects, hitting them with things, spraying them with pepper spray. Some of these officers are really being hurt here. So I think
you never have the right as a sheriff to tell anybody you're going to unalive them.
Well, that's Florida. That's Florida, because even when we had hurricanes in 2017, the mayor told the people, like, we're not sending anybody out to get you. If we come to get you after the hurricane, it'll be in body bags. So, yeah.
And then I want to say this, right? Even 16, right? Everybody know what I'm talking about. Officers was hurt then. Now, I'm not justifying any officer being hurt, but let's look at the difference. Where we at today? One was re-elected after officers being hurt. So my problem is, when do we get justice for all?
Liberty,
blacks, whites. When do we get it?
Not until 47's gone.
But yeah, I mean, and I think, gosh, so true. If we have to, well, in my opinion, yes, everyone's saying is true. But the juror 6, now he did put down 3 different addresses, y'all, and that's how we got here today.
No, I get that.
Whoa,
right?
You know what my question was?
Come on for a second. But the 3 addresses was down at the beginning. Am I right?
I don't know. I can't.
He just changed his address today.
And I'm gonna say you're right.
He just changed his address today. I'm saying,
I'll say yeah.
They vetted these people. You have a questionnaire. They question you, do all that.
But I tell you where the difference is, Mr. Perry. The difference is that when he gets picked for the jury, he has to swear and affirm that everything he's saying is true. So the onus is upon him.
Right. But so it took you 23 days to find that out.
Where's the lie?
Well, you already admitted it could be a legal strategy that they're using.
Yes, it's a nice one, but he gave it to him.
Yeah, I would say this, right?
It's very smart.
Then I'll be done. Do you think they checked everybody's application after they swore in, or just his?
I don't know, but Mr. Lentine can answer that.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Every day. Yeah, I don't know. We can find out though what happened.
Let's find out. We got to do it. But in the meantime, what made me do this video is because I was hearing African American men in New York gathering together saying, we're tired of not being heard. We're tired of being put in cells, forced to do free labor. They feel like all hope is lost because, to be real with you, I've never been to jail or prison.
Me neither.
I've never been falsely accused of anything. But our black men are. Perry, you never went to jail, but you had a GUN put to your head.
Right.
And so did my son, and so did I.
You had to lay down too. Yeah. What I'm saying is, no. I'm not claiming to be one of these guys that have been incarcerated that know all the rules. I'm just saying, looking at it from the outside of our community, we get to protect it as much as we can because I see things that's moving sort of funny.
And I think too, Perry, with your experience in the military, you have that federal experience in being a Marine,
Yes.
that rule following thing, but also being a Black man in the military also adds another texture to it too.
Right.
All right, I gotta wrap this up, Perry.
I never asked you this. Do you have kids?
No,
No,
we gotta
thank
wrap this
God.
up.
No, because I never asked. But I was just wondering, because like I have 2 Black boys.
I don't have them. I don't want them by choice.
So I seriously have to move on and look at that from my experience, acknowledge them
be
to
late.
do better to make sure they don't get caught up into the bullshit, right?
Sherelle, you gotta go. Though, so.
Before y'all go, can we keep all the kids in Job Corps in our prayers? Can we keep all the kids in Job Corps in our prayers? And
So that was that. Let's lighten the mood a little bit. Let me see. I'm just gonna put a few more curls in my head. It's 2:00. I gotta go to bed because I gotta get up. We're gonna watch what happens.
Hey, are you single? I'm a matchmaker. 6256, doctor, lawyer.
That's all it takes to be soulmate.
Johnny.
Welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo we just love to talk about.
Todd, vow to marry you.
Please don't mean to go. No matter how many times they say, we're sorry, we don't mean to be mean to Gal, we'll get like, how dare you? Shannon Bedora's like, I listen to your podcast.
Did you mean to be so mean to that unfamous woman?
I made 3 extra bottles. I'll come on tomorrow when I have more time to talk about it. We'll see if my hair poofs up tomorrow with all this heat and humidity. I think I'm gonna just put like a little curl up in here, and Goop will be doing too much. And I ain't hardly put, this is the only thing I put in it so far. This, when it was wet, and I put a little of this, like butter shine. It's kind of like oil in it, just a little bit. I'm wondering, I'm not going to put anything else in it because I don't want to wait. I don't want it to start looking greasy. But I kind of do want to put a little, I would need something really light. Or maybe not. Maybe I ain't going to put nothing else in it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to just put a few more curls in it. And then wrap this bitch up, go to bed, and I'll be back tomorrow. And I'll be back Sunday, cook something. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm already tired. But I know I'm not going to do this in the morning. I'm about to do some real lazy ass curls real quick. Making big chunks. Curl like that. And I'm going to wrap it so I didn't even get to cut my layers in my hair. See, they still look a little raggedy, my ends. I didn't cut it how I wanted to, but this will do. All right, this is to Real Housewives of Miami.
Okay. Previously on The Real Housewives of Miami.
Okay, wedding vow time for Alexia. Dear Anthony, insurance lawyer, I am sorry for maligning your career. You were a very good lawyer.
No. Todd, wedding vows. Wedding vows.
Oh,
Wedding
I
vows.
apologize. Hold on.
Wrong paper.
Hold on.
Blink in Spanish, blink in Spanish, blink in Spanish.
Alexia, I, Todd, vow to marry you in sickness and in health and in rent because buying property just doesn't make financial sense. You can see by watching my Instagrams.
He's a businessman.
I am.
Dios mío, I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. Todd, I vow to never leave you as long as you stay rich and are not.
This is easier than the natural stuff because once I do this, it's done for like 2 weeks, at least 3 weeks. I probably won't even trim it again until I wash it again because I did a really basic trim. I didn't cut my layers in or nothing because this is really last minute. I wasn't even supposed to be doing this. I wasn't even supposed to be going to the funeral. I just wanted to look like a little something. Not like I just rolled out the bed. But I can already feel my scalp sweating. So we'll see what this looks like tomorrow. Watch what happens.
Nice to Frankie and Peter because they're both angels, and if Peter is ever accused of anything like beating up a homeless person to get views on his TikTok, oh well, you know, Peter, people are jealous.
Here's to never letting anything come between us except for my finances.
Oh, really? Because I heard that Todd wants to leave Alexia. I heard it in the lobby of the building, but Todd was leaving the party.
We haven't even finished our vows, Adriana.
Alexia, you literally came right between us. Let us finish the ceremony.
I only want you two to be happy, bitch.
Hag.
I hate her so much.
You're like not the only like happy one, Alexia, okay? Like, I found the love of my life with Michael Jordan's like son. Like, he used to like play with my kids in the back like yard. Like, we have like a podcast. Listen.
Okay. Hey, I'm
Hi,
Marcus.
welcome to our pod.
Okay.
Marcus.
From the top.
Marcus.
Hey. Okay.
Marcus, you're supposed
Hey,
to start.
Okay.
Hey, you start. You start, okay? Start over again.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone, I'm Lars.
Oh, wait, okay, wait. You want to start? You want to start?
You should start. You should
Okay, I'll
start.
All right.
I didn't mean to. I just jumped in. This is really good.
I'm Marcus.
You're so good at this.
You're really good.
I love you
babe,
so much.
Babe, you're so good
You're
at this.
so
You're
fucking
so good
hot.
at this. You're so good
One
at
time
this.
I fucked Marcus in a car park. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I thought it was a park that cars go to. It was funny.
Yeah. We thought it was a Chick-fil-A, but it was actually just a public access parking
So
lot.
funny.
Yeah.
Start over.
Okay.
I am so bored with my life. I want to have baby with old lady now.
You're the matchmaker. You must know a lot about love.
I know about dating. Dating takes a lot of trial and error.
When I see your face, I see wrinkles and children that look like you.
I don't want a baby, honey. Find a hobby.
Oh, okay. I will find hobby. I take singing class.
Oh, okay, my ears. Okay, God. Okay, we'll have a baby. We'll have a baby.
There's a baby doll. I'll drink to that. Baby. I love babies. I'll drink a baby. I don't give a fuck.
Gertie, like, you're like a stupid bitch. Like, I can't even, like, do it anymore. Like,
Larsa, I don't want to fight with you anymore. So I'm going to tell you a secret. You cannot tell anybody. I have cancer.
oh my God, I'm a Cancer too. Why are we fighting, like?
Not the astrological Larsa. I have cancer.
Oh my God, I won't tell anyone at all. You guys, Gertie has cancer, like.
You guys, as the only doctor in the group, is cancer like a form of cancer or?
No, it's like cancer-like.
No, you're calling my cancer basic, you bitch. You bitch.
Oh, well, you know, by the way, we haven't checked in on Lisa yet. So, Lisa, what's going on? Okay, this is very nice, but like Lenny left you last year, so you have to get a new storyline. Okay, I'm telling you as a friend, and not just as a friend, but as a star.
Okay, all right. New storyline. I lost my lipstick on a boat.
Pero si gatos. I'll drink that.
And scene.
And scene.
Right now in the world, I don't think anybody knows what's happening with Housewives. I think we're worried. You know, I hear noise in the world. I hear talk of war. I hear like news, crying. You know, explosions, people bleeding, and I'm like, but what's happening with Housewives? Are we okay? Because you know, we have like great seasons like Salt Lake City, and then we have good seasons like Orange County had a really good season. And then we're excited for Atlanta to come back. We're like, Atlanta's gonna kill it. Now we're like, oh, please, what's happening? But then we get Miami.
Yeah, Miami is so good.
It looks like a coloring book. It's like high definition, tears, boobs. Outfits, like the costumes. Like, is this going to win a Best Costume Emmy at some point?
It deserves
like,
it.
What the hell?
It deserves it.
How are they even talking about Andor and not Real Housewives of Miami? Marisol's been doing that shit for 10 years.
I also feel like I'm like watching the news. Everything's like dun, 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 this just in. I'm like, I need a break from this. So I like go to Miami. It's like dun, 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 2024, Alexia's life. I'm like, oh my God, it's still happening. I'm hearing the news sounds.
And finally, I'm glued to my seat. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So we see a very sad Ferris wheel. It's like, the Ferris wheel's like pink. It's like,
well, you know, Peter. So we see a yacht that's just floating, and then it says flashback, April 2022, Todd and Alexia's wedding night, and the fireworks are going off, everything's exciting.
Everybody's dressed up glamorously, and we hear Todd, what an outrageous crowd! It's so good to have you all here at my wedding. You, Alexia, to find a woman that looks like she was drawn by the same guy who does the Pokemon cards. You've changed my life.
I don't rent a penthouse. Because remember, that's what Lisa was complaining about in the background of this wedding. She's like, I don't rent.
No, she was saying, how dare you accuse me of having a mortgage?
Oh, that's what it was. Sorry. It's even more ridiculous.
They literally had to explain to her what a mortgage was. Do you remember? It's like, it's okay to have a mortgage. People have them.
So we see this beautiful wedding, and then we hear Alexia's voice. She's like, Todd is everything to me, and he's always been accepting of the most important thing to me, my sons and my boobs. And that is why I fell in love with Todd. Todd. Emergency!
On screen, page 6. Real Housewives of Miami star Alexia Napola's husband, Todd, files for divorce after 2 years of marriage. Yep. And then it just cuts to Ariana going, yep, I was right. Called it.
People are always taking pics of me, but they're sleeping on who the real muse is. Okay.
So now, flashback to April 2024, which is a whole year ago, by the way. This timeline's really impressive on this show. So now it's Alexia sobbing in the arms of Marisol. It's like, ah! And Julia's like, oh, no, don't cry.
Por favor, ¿por qué, Jesus?
Oh my God. don't let him make you feel like this. Come on, cheer up. Let's turn that frown upside down.
All right, everybody. Espérame. It's time for a monologue.
Okay, all right.
Well, sit down.
All of this happened on Saturday, April 6th.
Oh, God.
But on Friday, the day before, he told me to pick a restaurant. He said, make it beautiful. So I pick a restaurant. I get ready for the restaurant. It's a beautiful restaurant. The menus were new. The menus were so heavy. I was like, what is in this? Is this a break in the menu?
Oh,
it was so good. There was so much in there.
Who has a heavy menu? Am I right? I mean, it's crazy, the story already.
And then he told me, you're the most beautiful woman. He was looking for a card somewhere in my purse. I don't know. He kept calling me a Pokemon.
There's always a card in the purse.
And so then we had a good dinner. I ordered. I broke my arm from the menu. I was like, I'm
Happy menus. Happy menu. Did you get the fish?
And then the next day, everything's gone. Everything is gone.
No.
He went and moved out all of my stuff. And they did it in front of Frankie.
Oh, not in front of Frankie.
Not in front of Frankie. Oh.
I die. Because now the rest of the episode, she's like, how could he do this in front of Frankie?
And you know, in the morning he was planning to get me out of the house, and he kept on saying like, "Why don't you leave already? Why don't you leave already?" Because I was like going to do something with Peter, and I was like, "Oh, well, you know, Peter's not ready yet." He said, well, "Why do you have to wait for Peter?" I was like, "Oh, well, you know, it's Peter. I have to wait for Peter. He hasn't woken up yet." He's like, "But it says it's 11 a.m." And I said, "Well, Peter likes to sleep late. He's an artist. He's sleep late until 3 p.m. You know, I have to wait for Peter. Why do you want me out of the house so much?" And he's like, "I just want you out of the house." But Peter's like asleep. I can't leave without Peter. He's like, "Why can't you leave with Peter for once?" I said, "Why don't you? If you like Peter so much, why don't you stay with him?" And I said, "No, I'm going to stay with him." And then all of a sudden we were knocking on Peter's door. It's like, "Don't knock on the door of an artist."
Dios mío.
And he did this all in front of Frankie.
And then Frankie told me, he's gone. He's gone, Mom. Todd, he's gone. He did it in front of me. He did it in front of my son, Julia. He left him there in the front, moving suitcases.
Not the suitcases. Were they 4-wheel or 2-wheel? Because that's a big difference.
He had it all planned. Yeah, he did. You think he's going to move out with you standing there over him? Of course, he escaped. He escaped. It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
I loved Marisol's version of Consolation. Well, you know, you've been here before. You married a gay guy, you know. You married a drug dealer. It's just part of it. And you know what? You stood up on 2 feet after both those times, and look where it got you. Another closeted gay man. It was okay. You're okay. You're going to be fine, okay? Just burn all those ABBA records, and you'll be A-okay.
She's like, honey, your blood pressure's going up. Just relax. You gotta calm down. This isn't your first time at that rodeo. I mean, look at you, discarded. You're like a piece of gum in somebody's mouth. You can't be shocked when you're stuck under the table of a diner after a while.
Wait, but I have important detail to the story, okay? Because like on Monday, I was talking to him, nothing. Then Thursday, I get the phone call from him saying, your husband wants to file for divorce. But you know what? All this time, we were talking on Monday, and what about Tuesday? And what about Wednesday? And then Saturday, we could have talked, but we didn't even get to Saturday. So how about that? I'm like, thanks for the rundown for every day of your week.
And Julia's there, and she's like, what a heartless person he is. How could he? Oh, listen, you've been through it. And so Julia's like, you know what happens when men go? You have your kids, you have your friends. I have a goat. You can pet a goat.
You have goats?
He's in my purse. I have purse goat.
So 2 days later, we cut to Alexia in the ring, car. Ring. Hello, who's this? Teresa Judice, thank you so much for calling me. You know, a lot of people say that you've never seen us both in the same room. But look, it's proof. We're two different people. Oh, let me tell you what happened. On Monday, I was talking to Todd. On Tuesday, we got Postmates. On Wednesday, we cleaned the floor. On Thursday, he asked for divorce. Just like that. In front of Frankie. Can you even believe it? I thought we would be together forever. I know. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, thank you. That was very helpful.
Does Teresa even know she's on the phone? I could hear the blinks from over here. All you hear from Teresa's side is blink, 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 blink.
She still thought she was on Next Gen New York City.
I can't believe Todd divorced Brooks Marks.
Later that day.
Hey, are you single? I'm a matchmaker. 6'2", 5'6", doctor, lawyer.
So now she's talking to the whole cast, right? So Lisa's like, oh my God, did we talk about the divorce? I'm leaving Lenny. There was no fight. There was no nothing. That's why it was so painful. It would have been painful if I saw it. It would have been painful if the maid saw it. But for Frankie to see it.
Do you guys think you can work it out? Things out like I'm sure it's circuiting
Yeah,
like.
Of course. I wish I could take it all back. I wish I could take every moment back and make it work again. But I can't do it.
Every time I think I'm happy, something else happens.
You have never thought you're happy. Listen, I've been watching this lady for a decade. She's never been like, I'm happy. She has, but it's been like 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes later, it's like rivers of mascara. Like, why?
And I just love Adriana just sitting there saying, well, a lot of things make sense now.
You know how people like kind of half shrug when they're right? They're like, whatever, I was
Kristen
right.
Doty.
She just keeps the shrug. She's like, the whole episode.
She does, actually. And all of her interviews, she's like this. She's like, I keep it up. I keep it up.
So they're like, we love you, Alexia. And Marisol's like, pile in hookers. Great
Get on
picture.
in here. Get on in here.
So now we see all the ladies in the group picture, but we don't get their opening lines yet.
Can't wait.
So 5 months later, I love the season hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
This was just like a random weekend
I
last
know.
year.
We've spanned already 3 years in this opening. I mean, like, House of the Dragon has nothing on this show.
Okay, so shots of Miami, boobs, cars, boobs.
Cars with boobs.
Cars driving boobs.
So Alexia and Marisol, they meet each other at this restaurant. They're saying hi in Spanish. They're talking about how they're both blonde now
I
and
miss
everything.
the slow-mo entrances because they don't even
Yeah.
do them. Like some of the women, like Kiki will do it like, it's me, Kiki, walking slowly through. But some of them are just so awkward. Like Marisol's just like,
Steve, tell me when my left foot's in front of my right foot, Steve.
it's like slow motion paint like eroding off of a wall in a paint commercial. So I guess that would be opposite though with Marisol.
Slow
By the
motion.
way, how do the women look so amazing on this show?
Always.
They do, right?
They look amazing.
And I think plastic surgery has come so far, and so many of us have talked insurance into giving it to us. Fingers crossed. That we're just getting used to these faces because I saw Lisa and I was like, she looks 12 and not terrified.
Yeah.
Like, has she just grown into it?
It's so funny. Earlier today, I went on to King 5 here in Seattle. And they said that there had been a rumor of there being like a Real Housewives of Seattle. And they're like, why do you think Seattle hasn't had one yet? It's like, well, I don't see any like plastic surgery billboards anywhere. You got to pick up your plastic surgery game here, and then you could be considered. I mean, look at what Miami's doing. Okay.
Yeah, they look so crazy, but so good. I guess I'm just used to it. But their skin is like, it's not even like, I don't even want to pull it back, just like a little, and it's so shiny.
Yeah.
And then somebody told me that they're like injecting people now with, I don't know, something like fetus something. I don't know. I think we're beyond stem cells. So rest easy, babies.
We're the whole flower cell. Yeah.
I'm like, can't wait to come to your sip and see. Packing my little cooler bag in my purse. But they're injecting themselves with something in their face. I forget what it is. If you remember, DM me.
The souls of children.
No, we're past children now. We're like, these don't last long enough. Your skin cells grow up and blame you for everything. Who needs that? We're about to being splooged on by salmon. I got a salmon sperm facial.
It's rejuvenating. So Marisol and Alexia are talking, and Marisol's like, by the way, Lisa's coming, so let's talk before everything happens here. Okay, let's do the real gossip before Monkey gets here. So then we see like the first headline of like many headlines that are come across our screen, which is that Lenny Hochstein and fiance Katerina Mazeppa end their engagement after 1 year after proposal. What, I mean, I thought they were a forever couple.
Well, he is just like that with everybody. He's like going to get with you and break up with you, give you a house, lock you out of the house. You know how it goes. And this week, the headline is actually the same. It's like Lenny is back with this girl. Nope, Lenny broke up with this girl. So,
is that real? They got back together this week?
No, they broke up again this week.
Hey, are you single? I'm a matchmaker. 6'2", doctor, lawyer.
That's all it takes to be soulmates? Dance with me.
Marriage is a business deal, but love has to be on the table.
That guy's got a lot of energy. So Marisol's like, I hope she just doesn't fall back in Lenny's trap. I'm sorry, Lenny is not trying to trap Lisa. He's changing the locks on the house. It's not a trap. And Alexia is like, oh no, she's not going to mess things up with Jody. Have you seen Jody? Have you seen Jody? Okay, let's see Jody.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, you can all come to my birthday party.
What?
Ha 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 ha.
What dentist cemented his teeth together? This is why you don't get on the wrong side of a dental professional.
Jody's been by her side. She's not going to mess that up. And I think women just want their exes to be nice to them. That's all we want. That's all we want. Finally, she's going to get it with Lenny. So then on the screen, we see photos of Lenny and Jody, or Lisa and Jody, sorry, looking all happy. And Marisol's like, all right, enough about that. Let's talk about a different couple. Let's talk about Todd. You didn't tell me you were seeing him. I had to see it in the press.
Okay, well, I'm not ashamed or embarrassed because I'm a star, okay? And it's hard not to give him another chance when I'm still in love with him, okay? Because I feel like Todd and I are like not finished.
Marisol is wearing a glitter dog cone that comes... I don't know how to explain what she's even wearing in this confessional. It's like, okay, it's like a big glitter tube that someone put on her, like a funnel. And then they put a belt, so it like bells out at the bottom, and then it bells out at the top.
She looks like filter coffee, yeah.
And her face
Slow
is just
drip
kind of
coffee.
like looking over the fence. She's like Lucy from the Peanuts. She's like, no, no quiero todo.
She's like, wait, you got back together with this guy? I've got like 4 camera-ready outfits, and I burned one of them on that scene consoling you last year.
So in comes Lisa. She's like, hello, everybody, 3. Party at 3. It's on to Lenny. Okay, yeah, okay. Hi, girls. And they're like, well, we're just talking. We're afraid you're going to get back with Lenny. She's like, oh, yeah, he's asking. I'm moving back in. Justin.
No. They get so mad at her so quickly. Alexia's like, no, don't do this. I'm telling you, don't do this. It's a huge mistake. She's like, I'm joking. But it wasn't a very funny joke.
So Alexia's like, yeah, you can't do this. You have a daughter, Lisa. You have to be, he needs to be remorseful. You need to think about your children. Think about what he did to Frankie.
I'm just kidding, Jesus. Okay, I would rather post a fucking ugly photo of myself naked than I would ever want in a million years to get back with him. I love like that's like the bottom of the barrel for her.
It's like Lisa's most terrifying thing.
The worst thing in the world would be an unflattering naked photo.
I would rather go filterless on Instagram. Think about. Okay, wait. No, I'd fuck Lenny.
I would rather drive my maid's Honda Civic again.
I forgot about
Then get back
that.
with Lenny. There's some people who don't watch Miami and are like, maybe just watch it tonight for the first time. You really need to catch up because the lore is amazing.
It's so good.
Because this makes sense. The Honda Civic thing makes sense to us Miami fans.
So Alexia is like, oh, let me tell you. I have to tell you about todo, okay? He filed for divorce thinking he was going to close the chapter, but then 2 weeks later, he said, oh my God, I can't live without the Alexia. I need the Alexia in my life. So he went back to chapter 1 and said, Alexia, He put his penis down on it, slammed the page a few times. It's a good book.
Okay, you know what? They told me I'm not full-time again, so here's the line I proposed. What's good for the whole isn't always good for the soul. Am I right? You're welcome, America.
All right, well, I'm going to throw a birthday party for Jody. It's going to be super Marilyn Monroe-ish, right? That had a happy ending. So come on to that one.
By the way, I just want to say, spoiler alert, no one shows up dressed old Hollywoodish to this party.
They do dress very like old Elodia. This store in El Paso where I grew up, there was this one lady named Elodia. And she was from Mexico, and she's like, come to Elodia for all of your formal needs. And you go to Elodia, and it's like sparkles. Like, where are you going to wear this in El Paso? There is nowhere to wear this. But we did. We did. The gay children of El Paso and their mothers at the country club found a way.
I was gonna say she was before her time. So the question is Marcus Jordan going to be at Jody's old Hollywood birthday party? And then
I'm surprised he wasn't, actually, because there was a lot of coke there.
The AC was really good. So
I mean, I don't know if there's any coke lovers in here, but man, if there's coke at a party, I don't give a shit if fucking Gaddafi's throwing it. I don't care.
I don't care if I have to take an unflattering naked photo of myself.
I'll be there, Gaddafi.
So we see.
I'm so sorry for that.
I don't care if Dwight D. Eisenhower's biggest enemy is there.
So,
if Gorbachev is there, I'm in. I do not care. Tear down this wall, bitch, and get me the coke.
This just in, Geraldine Ferraro wants in on the party. So we see a headline that says Lars and Marcus have broken up. So Lisa's like, okay, well, Lisa, so Lars and I had a huge issue, and now my name is getting dragged all over because let me set the record straight and let me be crystal clear, okay? Jody and I were at a fine establishment called Catch, okay? Fine dining, -3 Michelin stars. Look it up.
I feel like that restaurant is anti-gay because that's like the worst thing you can say to a gay person.
Looking to new tires?
You have more important things to do than become a tire expert. Chevy certified service technicians are factory trained to fit your vehicle with the tires specifically developed for it. The to-do list is endless, but your energy isn't. Let us do the work.
At Grand Canyon University, we believe in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with purpose.
Catch. Don't throw things at us. Stop doing it.
I would like if it was just called Kvetch. Hey. Kvetch joke. Oh, God, I'm on a roll, Geraldine Ferraro. Now, Kvetch, come on. These things happen in threes.
Killing it.
So, yeah, Jody and I were at Catch, and then we see all of Jody's bestest friends in all the whole wide world, including Marcus Jordan, son of the NBA. And we sit down for maybe a minute, and that was it. Just 1 minute, maybe an hour, but probably a minute. And then Jody went out to dinner with his friends, which is sort of weird because we were already at the restaurant, and we were leaving the restaurant, but whatever.
Yeah, that is a fucked up Lisa story for sure.
That's fucked up.
And yeah, so we went out to dinner. You know, he took a picture for his Insta. Big deal. Who of us puts any cred into Instagram? Nobody.
I know, right?
Who cares?
Who cares?
So then he went to dinner, and I was invited, but I said, hell to the no. I have respect for women.
Hell to the no is what I said specifically. And then Marcus takes out his phone and takes a selfie with Jody, and he didn't even post it. But Jody's not going to say, who's Jody to say no to Marcus Jordan? Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I right?
Well, let me tell you, that really hurt. Marcus thought you could have stopped him. Okay. Sorry.
Not in front of Frankie. Not in front of Frankie. He's right there.
I can't stop Jody from being with his friends. He's a guy. He's a man.
Well, Larsa said you should have controlled him.
Yeah, well, Larsa, you know what Larsa did to me? You know what she did to me?
What did
She
she do?
texted me and she said, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to start hanging out with Lenny and Katerina. That is really fucked up. That is really fucked up, you guys.
Yeah, well, she plays dirty like that. What can you do? Well, am I right? Was it good for the soul? Was it good for the pole, right?
It was attack after attack after attack. Listen to this. I'm going to be friend.
This text thread is just so Larsa too.
Okay, that's cool. Like, I'm not gonna be friends like with Lenny then, like, and then like all my friends, including Greed, love her. That's cool, right? Like, what if I was friends with her? You really like that, right? Like, really? You don't have any real friends. Fuck you. You know what? Clearly, you don't even understand loyalty. Whatever. You know what? When you go to an ice cream like store, like, and you hand in your card, they take stamps off of it, like.
So Alexia has her chin up, you know. She's going to make a point. She's like, do you follow Marcus? Do you follow Marcus? Because you shouldn't follow him. You shouldn't follow him.
Do you do it?
You should follow
Women
him
who
right now.
support women don't follow the men that the women have a problem with.
I'm sorry, you need to unfollow him. I'm sorry, you need to unfollow him.
Follow. That follow. Unfollow.
It's like, well, if I did something wrong, I'd apologize, but I did not do something wrong. Okay. You know what? You want to talk to someone? Talk to Jody. Don't talk to me. Talk to Jody. Don't talk to me.
And they're like, oh my God, should I do it at his birthday party? All right. Should I approach the talking Lincoln log at his birthday party to discuss this?
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So now we go to Julia and Martina's house, and they are baby-proofing their kitchen, which you know Martina hates this. She's like, I paid $50,000 for this stove only to put a piece of plastic over it.
Here's what I tell babies, buck the fuck up. Okay?
Here's a racket. Enjoy having this ace on your forehead.
All right, I just want to make sure, I don't care about the baby proofing, I just want to make sure everything we buy this baby is Harry Potter themed. Friend to no one.
Anyway, remember when we were daydreaming about expanding our family 2 years ago?
Women being women?
Okay, Martina, okay. Not on this show. When we least expect it, we get a call saying there's not one, but 2 baby boys and 3 goat.
So now I have goat poop in one hand, diaper poop in the other. Oh God, it's real awkward when I mix up diapers.
So they have babies, and you would think this would be a nice, lovely situation that would not be the source of any sort of drama, but you are wrong. This is Miami.
Well, it's also Martina. I don't think Martina really thought this was going to happen. She's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Babies.
Chris Everett drives by like, wow, nice. Enjoying retirement with your babies. I'm going to a bar.
karma. Enjoy your karma, babies, bitch.
I'm going to brunch with Steffi Graf.
So she's like, oh, raising 2 little boys is definitely much different than raising 2 little girls. I'm good.
And she's like, well, what do your friends think about it?
Well, 6 of us joined the call. Welcome to Julia Drama.
So the Zoom of drama. And so we see Julia zooming everyone to be like,
Guess what? I have goat poop in my hand.
Is that for your face, or am I supposed to inject that? What are we doing?
what's good for the goat is good for the throat. Am I right?
So there's this drama because, first of all, if y'all are real friends, why aren't you just going to lunch? Like, why do you got to Zoom each other? But okay, so they're Zooming. Let's just pretend it's pandemic times. They're Zooming each other. It's like, I have news. We're all on Zoom call. Where's Gertie? And everyone's like, I don't know. Dropped from the call. Gertie didn't make the Zoom call. Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, are you single? I'm a matchmaker. 6'2", 5'6", doctor, lawyer.
That's all.
Get ready to die.
All right, guys. I need to go to bed so I can get up like 6 hours. No? That'll be too late. 5 hours. 7:45. I need to get up in like 4 hours. These things hurt. I hate these fucking things. I'm not going to sleep good with these because they pull in my hair, especially these ones, and I can't sleep. I'm gonna have an attitude tomorrow. Let me take this makeup off my face. Where are my wipes? Wipies, wipies. Got hair everywhere. So we gotta get you to be able to do your own hair. I don't even feel like washing my face properly. I'm gonna hop right in this bed up here tonight in this cool air so I don't start sweating. Plus, I got hair all over me. I don't want to get that in the other bed. I'm gonna stay right up here in this little pigsty. That's all right with me. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I do. See how pink my cheeks are? You know that we are living in real well, and I am a material girl. You know we are living material well, and I am a material girl. Yeah, my baby father's daddy died. I wasn't gonna go, but my daughter's going, so I'm gonna go with her. I didn't know the man, but I wanted to look like, cute and stuff since I'm gonna be around the ex. These wipes are pretty good. I got these from Sprouts too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't know the guy. I'll just leave it at that. He was never. I don't think anybody will be crying. Let's put it like that. But yeah, I gotta go support. Hopefully my curl. I'm gonna spray some hairspray in my hair so my curls. Cause it's hot hair. Even if my hair doesn't frizz up, I know my curls are dry. I'm gonna spray some of this shaper spray in my hair before I take it out. If I hit the heat, Sebastian, good old fashioned Sebastian. All right, I think this is good enough. I feel like there's makeup over my neck and shit. Look at this. Hell. All right, gang. I'll see y'all tomorrow, sometime after the funeral. Hair everywhere. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Maybe I'll take a picture. I'll take my hair out. Ooh, I got hair in my teeth. Good night, everyone. We will talk tomorrow. Well, later on today. Going to bed. 2:48. Gotta get up. So should I put some oil in there? Just a little bit. You know what? Maybe not. Mess everything up. I just gotta do something. All right, girl. See y'all tomorrow. Adios.